Does your business need more customers? If you said no, congratulations. If you said yes, then you need to consider advertising your products and services. People need to know you exist, and then why your business is worth considering to spend their money with. You also need to advertise to the right audience. For example, sports talk listeners have disposable income. They own homes, they're employed, and they earn six-figure incomes. And importantly, sports talk listeners listen longer, so your advertising message has more opportunity to be heard. Does your business need more customers? If the answer is yes, then give me a call to schedule a conversation. We'll discuss your objectives, talk about potential strategies, and also determine if Fox Sports Radio is a good station for you to consider. Call me, 916-779-0914. Radio gets results, and we are here to help. Call 916-779-0914.
Aftershock, the West Coast's largest rock, metal, and punk festival, returns to Sacramento this October with My Chemical Romance, Tool, Limp Bizkit, Pierce the Veil, plus Suicide Boys, Queens of the Stone Age, The Offspring, A Day to Remember, Wu-Tang Clan, Sublime, Danny Elfman, Baby Metal, Public Enemy, Circa Survive, and so many more. 4 days, 135 plus bands, 5 stages. Aftershock takes over Discovery Park October 1st through 4th. My Chemical Romance, Tool, Limp Bizkit, Pierce the Veil. All 4 day, single day, and premium passes are on sale now, starting at only $1 down. Get yours at AftershockFestival.com.
It's the All Things Legal Show, heard every Saturday morning from 8 to 9. Join your host, Craig Ashton, with an entertaining and eclectic view of all things legal. Saturday mornings from 8 to 9. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Hop in a John Deere Gator XUV for a day's work. Let's see what's on the to-do list. There goes the tree. And the fence. Not a problem. Because you've got a cargo box filled with solutions. Up to 4,000 pounds of towing capacity. And you're ready to roll.
The power's out!
Here we go again. The Gator XUV, built for every kind of workday. Learn more at johndeere.com/Gator XUV. Nothing runs like a deer.
Call the good dudes at Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Homeowners, if you have an electrical project you need done, then you need the good dudes at Gabrudes. Family owned and operated for 30 years, Jay Gabrude and his team are the area's recognized experts for everything electrical, from the very basic like repairs, lighting upgrades, and whole house fans, to the biggies, panel replacements, EV stations, and backup generators. Gabrudes does it all and does it right the first time. They're actually the guys their competition recommends. Gabrudes, expert 5-star service and always transparent, honest prices and solutions. Say goodbye to your electrical issues. Visit Gabrudes.com or call 24/7 and speak with a real live person. Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Call the good dudes at Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S, Gabrudes.com.
My retired friends are going back to work. I'm worried. Social Security won't be enough. BenefitsCheckup.org connected me to $1,000 a month for food and medicine. It's free. Visit BenefitsCheckup.org today.
Supported by the U.S. Administration for Community Living.
Tell your friends. Grant's back. Grant Napear is back on the Sacramento airwaves right here. KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst. K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento. Hello, Sacramento. Sacktown. And welcome in.
Grant Napear.
How you been? You know this guy.
It's your show.
So happy to hear you on the airwaves.
2+ decades on the radio with you.
Just the start of an incredible journey.
Now he's back on Fox Sports 104.7 FM and 890 AM.
3 to 6 every day, Fox Sports Sacramento.
The phone number?
916-779-0929.
His name? Grant Napear.
Well, as I come on, Aaron Judge has just hit his first home run of the year. and the Yankees lead the Giants 2-0. You know, the Giants, this is hard to do. Through 14 innings of baseball, they have a total of 4 hits. Wow. All right, here's my question of the day. Help me out here. Why does Tiger Woods drive? Why is it that Tiger Woods does not have a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week driver, chauffeur? Tiger Woods arrested today, suspicion of DUI, rolled his Land Rover, had to crawl out of the passenger side window. All right. Apparently, he swerved to avoid a collision when he was passing a truck. He clipped the back end of the truck's trailer, then it rolled onto its driver's side. Investigators at the scene found Woods to be impaired. He did a breathalyzer test, according to the reports, came out negative, but he refused to take a urine test. He's been charged with driving under the influence. He's been charged with property damage and refusal to submit to a lawful test. I mean, how many times are we going to have to hear about Tiger Woods crashing his vehicle? And fortunately, once again, no one else is a victim of this, meaning that there's no bodily injury to another human being because of Tiger Woods' bad decision-making. This is unbelievable, isn't it? Like, how many times are we going to have to talk about this? Why is Tiger Woods driving? You want to talk about an individual that needs to have their license revoked? That's an individual that should not be allowed to drive. Period. Like, what are we doing? What kind of laws do we have? How is it that Tiger Woods is able to keep his driver's license? And why is Tiger Woods driving? I mean, we all assume that he's under medication for his variety of ailments and all of his surgeries that he's had, back, Achilles, we can go on and on. Driving under the influence doesn't mean driving under the influence of alcohol. It means driving under any influence of any drug, okay? Driving under the influence can be painkillers, can be alcohol, can be anything that impairs you. That's driving under the influence. Unbelievable, seriously. It really is incredible. And you have to just, again, ask yourself, right? Life comes down to decision-making. How many bad decisions is this individual going to make? Seriously, how many bad decisions is Tiger Woods going to make in his adult life? It's just one after another. And he keeps on getting a pass from the media. He keeps getting adored, and the media will never approach these subjects. It's unbelievable to me. It just is unfreaking believable to me. I don't know what else to say. 916-779-0929. Other than, again, thank goodness, he hasn't taken the life of an innocent person from his stupidity and his bad decision-making. Because that's what it is. It's bad decision-making. There's no other way to say it. Really. I think the decision of whether he's going to play in the Masters, which begins on the 7th of next month, which, by the way, is next weekend, has just been made. Okay? I think that decision has just been made. 2 weekends from now, I beg your pardon. I think that decision was just made today. Unbelievable. Seriously. Unfreaking believable. I don't even know what else to say. All right, update from San Francisco. It is now 3-0. Robbie Ray was pitching a shutout going into the 6th. Back-to-back homers by Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton. It is now 3-0 Yankees. How bad of a start is this for San Francisco? You don't even have a run, and you're in the top of the 6th in game 2, and you haven't even scored a run. I mean, it's a horrible way to start the season. See if the Giants can come back. A's are going to begin their season coming up in a little bit against the Toronto Blue Jays. We'll keep you up to date on that and all of the scores. Of course, the Sweet 16. And there were some dandy games yesterday, and we're going to do it all over again here in just a little bit. Right? NCAA basketball. Who do you like? How are your brackets doing? I'm still alive because I've got Arizona. I haven't even looked. Rhino, have you even looked at are you still in last place? I mean, I honestly have not even looked. All I know is I have Arizona in the to win it all. I haven't even looked. I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you who I have right now in the Sweet 16. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, let's see. Looking right now.
Yep. While you look right now, the best game I am looking forward to seeing is St. John's and Duke, Alabama, Michigan, Michigan State, UConn, and Tennessee as well. Go ahead.
Still loading. A little bit of a slow connection
okay, no problem. Yeah, well, let me know. I totally am oblivious to what is going on with my picks. So, all right, I'll let you load that. We will talk about that and so much more. All right. And we've also talked about the Kings last night. They had a very good game. They lost. The final was 121-117. I have no issues at all how they competed last night after the debacle in Charlotte. No issues at all. They competed. Now, Orlando's really struggling right now. They had lost 6 in a row, including a game to Indiana. But I have no problems with that. No problems at all. I thought it was a good performance. Guys competed. And it was good. What's not good is the NBA and their absurd, ridiculous ideas as it relates to changing things around with what Adam Silver talked about the other day and what the Board of Governors are going to do with tanking. And I'm going to get into this in the show today. First of all, Ryan may be able to help me with this. And Ryan, the reason why I'm asking you for help is I think in order to, number one, decipher and then explain the potential changes to the NBA lottery format, I need a law degree. All right?
You need more than that,
I mean, is there anything that is more absurd, more confusing, more like, what is wrong with you than today's reports by Sham Sharani over at ESPN disclosing the 3 plans as it relates for the future after this year as it pertains to the NBA lottery?
You can spend hours talking about how that breaks down, if it would work, why it wouldn't work. But the one thing that I would say is, why are we not thinking outside of the box? Every single scenario still includes a draft lottery grant.
Yep.
Every single one.
Yep. And it has got to be, if you think the NBA salary cap is confusing, the NBA salary cap is like 2 + 2 = 4 compared to the 3 proposals. As a matter of fact, I don't even have the patience right now, and it's my job, but I don't even have the patience right now to even get into this because, like, I'm thinking that I am not going to be able to even discuss this with any clarity so that you, the listener, would understand what I'm talking about. And I'm being very serious. I'm not being facetious about this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to explain the 3 reported proposals as it pertains to the NBA draft lottery. I don't even know if I can explain it and put it in the layman terms so an individual driving or sitting at home is going to go, oh, okay, that makes sense. I read it. I've read it. I've gone over it. And it doesn't even make sense to me. And I've read it several times. Like it's not something that I'm looking at and go, huh? I'm looking at it and I'm like, it's not like, huh? Okay, I get it. It's like, huh? Huh? I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Yeah, if you've ever seen the meme with all the different math, signs and equations going behind somebody's head, that's what it is. I mean, you're talking some scenarios, Grant, have minimum games that need to be won, and if you don't win the minimum games, then you bump up to this number. Some of them, I guess, are a little bit more easy to understand, but I don't see how it completely changes the tanking, right?
Agreed.
Because
Agreed.
in one of the scenarios, if you're in the bottom 5 teams, you all have the same percentage to get, the first pick. Let's put it that way. So you would have 5 teams that are trying to be in the bottom 5. You might have 5 other teams that are trying to get their way into that bottom 5. It's just
How's Adam Silver? What is Adam Silver doing? I really mean that. He's not a dummy. He's a very smart man.
Grant, I think he's running out of David Stern's ideas.
Yeah, that's a good way of saying it.
It's so unoriginal. Like, don't be so, I guess, adverse to change. Like, I would have liked to see something where it's like, okay, you know what? That's a little different. That's going to make teams think. None of this makes teams think.
Yeah.
None.
All right. While we have you here, we're getting ready for the weekend, which means we won't be able to talk to you until Monday. People want a passport update.
Oh, passport update. No appointment.
It is almost April. You know that, right?
Yep. We have till April 2nd and no appointment yet. Cutting it close.
Rhino.
Yeah.
Rhino.
Yeah, I got you.
Come on now.
It'll get done. It'll get done. It's on the top list of things to do by Monday, which is the 31st.
You know, there's a lot going on this weekend, sports-wise.
There is. But
2 Kings games, the NCAA tournament. We'll find out what the Final Four is going to be. We got all the baseball going on. What else am I missing? We've got, auto racing if you're into that.
Yeah.
We've got it all.
Yeah.
Right?
I like to be kind of mysterious. Nobody thought I'd just pop up with passport photos. So, how do you know that maybe I'm not duping you right now and I've already gotten it taken care of?
Because you're not that type of person. That's why. I know you well enough to know that that's just not the case.
All right. You got a good read on me. No, I have not. But yeah, it'll be done. And if it doesn't, you win. We get together at Bennett's.
Okay. I'm really hoping that happens. You know that.
I know. You would be very disappointed. It's one of those things where I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed in you. I can see it on your face right now for those watching on YouTube.
Yeah. 916-779-0929. So we've got a lot to talk about today. Again, I'll try to get into these NBA proposals, but it's got to be the most absurd. I'm like, it bothers me to even talk about it because it's so stupid. It's just so ridiculous that the NBA has got a problem. They acknowledge they have a problem, and they come up with 3 proposals that to me are just ridiculously stupid and don't address the problem that they currently have. Unbelievable. Seriously. It is incredible to me. We'll reflect back on the Kings last night and the Magic. We'll talk a little bit about the A's. Luis Severino getting the ball for game 1. They're going to start their season in just a little bit. The Giants have 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. They're down 3-0 because of Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton homering. And the Giants in 2 games through 14 innings of baseball have no runs and 4 hits. They need to get hot like Rhino does with Prize Picks. That's what the Giants need right now. They need a Rhino Prize Picks run. That might get them all the way to the World Series if they get on a run like that.
2 for 2 last night on Prize Picks. If you are following me, Rhino in Sacktown on Prize Picks, there's a ton going on this weekend, which means we are going to be active on America's #1 daily fantasy site, Prize Picks. So, cool thing is, it's not like fantasy as you know it. It's daily fantasy. You get to pick, or you can choose 2 to 6 players, pick more or less on their stat projections. If you've been looking at what I'm doing on Prize Picks, you can go more than on 3-point shot attempts, assists, 3-pointers made, free throws. It's all there for you. If you don't like basketball, baseball, 100 different sports as well. Download the Prize Picks app using the code RYNO50, RYNO50, to get $50 in free play after your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, that first $5 lineup, you get $50 in free play. I have already posted my picks for today. I am going Darius Garland, more than 5.5 assists. Donovan Mitchell, more than 1.5 made 3-pointers. Jonathan Kuminga, more than 1.5 3-pointers attempted. And Peyton Pritchard, more than 1.5 threes. Download the app, use the code RYNO50, RYNO50, hit that lineup, and get $50 in free play after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Cha-ching. On that note, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We talk about tanking in the NBA. Interesting comments on NBA radio from Rob Perez and Antonio Daniels. I'll let you listen to that. And, yes, we get you to the weekend right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
We are Fox Sports. This is Kurt Bagelman. Does your business need more customers? If you said no, congratulations. If you said yes, then you need to consider advertising your products and services. People need to know you exist, and then why your business is worth considering to spend their money with. You also need to advertise to the right audience. For example, sports talk listeners have disposable income. They own homes, they're employed, and they earn 6-figure incomes. And importantly, sports talk listeners listen longer, so your advertising message has more opportunity to be heard. Does your business need more customers? If the answer is yes, then give me a call to schedule a conversation. We'll discuss your objectives, talk about potential strategies, and also determine if Fox Sports Radio is a good station for you to consider. Call me, 916-779-0914. Radio gets results, and we are here to help. Call 916-779-0914.
Investors, keep listening to learn how to get your free gold report. A currency crisis is upon us. The U.S. dollar has been the world's reserve currency for over 50 years, but that is changing. It's time to protect your retirement. Decades of reckless borrowing and spending have critically weakened the dollar. The U.S. has become the world's biggest debtor with over $35 trillion in debt. Plus, the dollar's become weaponized. Countries are dumping it. Investors who wait until it's too late could lose big. There is one safe haven: gold. Diversify your portfolio with a physical asset they can't take away. Call the Reagan Gold Group right now and ask for your free gold guide. Here's our number:
800-941-4184. 800-941-4184. 800-941-4184. That's 800-941-4184.
Homeowners, for any electrical project you need done, trust the good dudes at Gabrew's. Locally owned, 5-star service experts, always transparent prices and solutions. Say goodbye to your electrical issues. Call Gabrew's or visit Gabrew's.com. G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
It's the All Things Legal Show, heard every Saturday morning from 8 to 9. Join your host, Craig Ashton, with an entertaining and eclectic view of all things legal. Saturday mornings from 8 to 9. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hello, Friday. I've been waiting for you for a long time. You just saved me.
916-779-0929. So because of tanking, the NBA's had to come out and acknowledge the tanking, right? They've had to come up with ideas to fix their problem. Well, on NBA radio, Rob Perez and former NBA player out of Bowling Green State University, Antonio Daniels, had an interesting dialogue.
I am rewarding the number one pick with my powers as the draft dictator to the most ethical tanker. That's how I am doing this order. Who was the most ethical tanking team of those five? Who lost games the most noble of ways?
Utah?
No, they're fifth. They're dead last.
Well, Utah is ethical tanking to me, Rob, is a team that I guess it depends on what your definition of ethical tanking is.
My definition is playing your guys and losing.
Playing your guys all the way through?
As realistically long as possible until they actually get hurt. Sacramento's got to be at the top of my list.
Then it'll be Sacramento.
Correct.
Because I thought you meant ethical as far as, because we had the discussion, Rob, before about tanking where Utah would play guys and then sit them out in the fourth quarter. And then the question that we had is, would you rather them sit them all the way through or play them and then sit them? So I thought that's what we were talking about as far as ethical tanking.
We're in the same neighborhood. So I would go Sacramento 1, Brooklyn 2 are the two obvious to me.
Interesting comments. Interesting. We do know that the Kings do play their players such as DeRozan and Westbrook until recently. And when Levine was on the floor, major minutes, Rhino. Major minutes. I mean, how many times has DeMar played 40 or more minutes this season?
A ton. And when Adam Silver had his press conference, the All-Star game, I said I thought we saw that clear distinction between the teams like Utah and the teams like the Kings, where they're playing their guys, they've had injuries, and they're just bad. They were talking, they got a call about having some type of panel that evaluates the teams. And in my opinion, in this day and age of AI, I've got to think there is a way that they can come up with a formula that certainly puts an emphasis on wins and losses, but it also measures teams' downfalls. And that's got to be able to spit out a draft order, at least for the teams that do not make the playoffs or the play-in. I don't think it's that much to ask. Hey, I take the BCS right now for the NBA with their lottery.
Very well said. Let's get to some phone calls at 916-779-0929 and say hello to Mac. Good afternoon, Mac.
Hey, how are you?
Good, Mac. Thank you.
I had a couple things to say. First off, with the loss last night in St. Louis, I really think the Sharks are done. I could see Celebrini. He seems to be running on empty. I don't know. Maybe what do you think of backing off his minutes a little bit?
No,
or do you
I don't think so.
Make the run. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know about. I wouldn't back off his minutes.
That was my first question. Second question is, look, I'm not a Yankee fan, so I don't watch Aaron Judge as much, and I'm watching him. My goodness gracious, is that dude like allergic to taking a breaking ball? Like I've watched every time you start a breaking ball or a slider right in the middle of the zone and it drops. He looks silly. I swear to goodness gracious. I mean, it's
his
crazy.
big weakness. You know, for a guy that's won the MVP 3 times, I hear you loud and clear. And, he did hit the home run in the 6th inning to break the scoreless tie to make it 2-0. And then Stanton came up. but he's already struck out 5 times in 2 games. And before
Yeah.
that hit, he started off the season 0-7. That doesn't mean anything. You know he's going to end up having a tremendous year. But yes, that is very true. But again,
Yeah.
you know, he has won the MVP 3 times. Here's how I look at Aaron Judge as a Yankees fan. The Yankees are an organization that if you don't win the World Series, the year is not successful. That's just the reality. That's the way it is. It's the same way if you're a Celtics fan or a Lakers fan or a Dodgers fan. There are certain franchises in sport where if you don't win it all, it's not a good year because of the resources that you have available to you. The Yankees have not won a World Series since 2011. They haven't even been close other than really 1 year where they lost to the Dodgers in the World Series a year ago. But back to Aaron Judge. Listen, is he a great player? He is a great player. He's also a tremendous fielder, and I don't think that we talk about that as much. But unfortunately, he's come up shallow in too many big moments for the Yankees in the postseason. And that is what makes you great or not great in New York. It's not about what you do during a regular season in New York. It's about what do you do in October. And Aaron Judge is still very much in his prime. And barring injury, he's going to have a lot of years left. But he better get some hardware. He better get some jewelry because he'll never be the Ruth, the Mantle, the DiMaggio, the Garrick. He'll never be in that list of players if he doesn't win some championships. That's just the way it is.
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, when you're in the playoffs, I mean, like I told you earlier, you see when you get to the playoffs, you see better pitching and guys who can execute their breaking balls more. So,
Very true.
no wonder he doesn't come through in the playoffs. One last thing I wanted to say.
Okay, but I want to stop you. Whoa. I want to stop you right there.
Go ahead. Sure.
But every batter is facing the same type of pitching. And there are a lot of other batters that do come through in the playoffs. So you can't use that as your barometer for why he doesn't do this in or that in the playoffs. It's not like he's facing a different pitcher than everybody else in the lineup for both teams.
I think he's greedy and doesn't make adjustments. That's my belief.
Fair enough. I don't think he's greedy, but go ahead.
Well, you know what I mean, like home run happy. Like sometimes you need to adjust
discipline.
Your swing, and sometimes
the word you're talking about is discipline.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
One last thing. So as I've told you, I'm a special ed teacher, and look, growing up, I had hard time reading and stuff like that. So that's kind of why I'm a teacher. And I wanted to say, like the Giants today, they said that they did their opening day, and every time they do that, they do an in memoriam. And I want to say how moved I was when they recognized Glenn Dickey. My dad would worked in the Bay Area, and he would one thing to motivate me to read, because it was hard. Look, when you're a kid, it's hard to read. You don't want to struggle. But he would buy me the Chronicle. He would buy me the Chronicle, and Glenn Dickey was one of the people that it was worth struggling to read, just to read. And he was a great column, or writer.
Columnist.
And
Great.
I'm very thankful to the Giants, and I think it's very classy that they recognize not only members of their organization, but also the media that weren't associated, like people from the Chronicle. So
that's well said. That's very well said. And that's an interesting story of yours, and what a great idea that was for your dad to give you something that you might find interesting, that you would take time and the effort to read through it. That's great. That's a great story, Mac. That's a great story.
Yeah. I appreciate it. And thank you very much. And I hope you have a great day.
All right. Have a great weekend.
Right, bye-bye.
It's a good story. I love stories like that. And yeah, Glenn Dickey was an institution in the Bay Area. Speaking of those that have passed, what a sad life for Barrett Robbins, the former center of the Raiders, who died today at the age of 52. Of course, you go back to the Super Bowl that the Raiders played against Tampa. John Gruden, after he was with the Raiders, goes to Tampa And the morning of the Super Bowl, Barrett Robbins is AWOL. Nobody knows where he is. Nobody can find him. The starting all-pro center, gone. And, Rich Gannon and the Raiders offense had to play in the Super Bowl, not knowing what's going on with Robbins and a backup center in a game which they would ultimately lose after beating Baltimore. Was it Baltimore or was it Tennessee? Tennessee in the AFC Championship game. Baltimore was the year before when they knocked Gannon out with the injury. But Barrett Robbins today, the news that he had passed. 916-779-0929. Again, that is 916-779-0929. The Yankees are leading by the score of 3-0 as that ball game is in the seventh inning. We will keep you up to date on that score. Again, it is 3-0 as they are in the seventh inning. Again, 916-779-0929. We're talking about Kings. We're talking about the rest of the NBA. The Kings will go to Atlanta, then Brooklyn, and then they'll close out the road trip next week in Toronto. I guess the real question and the only thing really worth watching right now, if you're a Kings fan, and that, of course, would be the standings that you have to look at because you are talking about odds and what could be the scenario. You have the Kings right now with 55 losses. The East Indiana Pacers have 57. The Nets, who the Kings play on Sunday, have 56. And Washington, who beat the Jazz in a humiliating fashion in Salt Lake City, have 55. Now, what about the Jazz? They have 52 losses. It's going to be, I think, unlikely that the Jazz are going to end up below Sacramento in the standings. I just think that's unlikely. But Indiana, Brooklyn, Washington. The Brooklyn game on Sunday will, in all likelihood, determine that. That is, do not underestimate that game and what you want to do. And in that game, let's just call it the way it is. All right? Let's just call it the way it is. You do not want to win that game.
I say this with a bit of levity, but also a lot of seriousness. It could be, looking back, one of the most important games in the last 20 years for the Kings.
Wow.
If you think about it. Yeah, because if you're able, to get that guy in the draft, and you look back at that game, because Brooklyn, as you said, 56 losses. I just think this is the year, Grant, that if the NBA was ever going to deliver the frozen envelope, it would be this year, because if the Jazz get that first pick or the Wizards get that first pick, oh boy, just as
there
you
are
said.
no envelopes anymore.
Yeah, there's
you
still
understand that.
Isn't there envelopes?
There are envelopes that they use to show the logo on the but that's not how
I know.
That's not how the lottery's done. It's done with ping pong balls and a machine.
Right.
Whereas the one you're referring to, you would actually pick the envelopes out of a bin, and that would be your selection.
You are right.
Of course. Yes, it's done in the back room with ping pong balls and a machine and a variety of combinations.
That's right. It's not just one ball that comes up. And
That's
I
correct.
believe
It's a combination of ping pong balls.
There's one reporter that's allowed in and one team representative.
That is correct. There is a team. There's a representative from each team. Yep.
So they know the results 3-4 hours early.
Yes. I don't know if it's 3 or 4 hours, but it's before the TV presentation. That is correct.
Interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
Think Scott Perry has a good poker face?
I don't know if Scott Perry is going to be in the room or not. It doesn't have to be him. It can be any representative that you choose from the organization.
I think it's Scott Perry.
Well, I don't know. Most general managers don't go to that.
Yeah, but it's that draft. It's his first year. I think this is that moment that he should be the one there. Just saying.
Okay. Well, then if that's the case, he'll be on the podium on TV and not in the back room. Because you don't come out of the back room until the draft is over.
Wait, say that again?
You have two representatives, one that's in the room before the lottery, and those individuals are sequestered because they know the results and they can't come out. And that you need to do a little homework on this, my friend.
Okay.
You need to do a little research on this. You're so busy getting your passport ready that you're just missing the boat here with the NBA lottery because you have your mind wrapped around your passport. You're not thinking straight.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that didn't know that there's two separate people from each team. I didn't realize.
I think a lot of people knew that. I don't mean to come down on you and be condescending, but I think most people knew that if they've been following it.
All right.
Yeah. But I'm giving you some slack here. I'm not trying to show you up on our stream and on our show.
Hey,
you are wrapped up in your passport, and so I'm telling you, as a good friend of yours, I'm giving you a pass on this because your mind is not right because you're up against the pressure of a deadline, and so I'm cutting you some slack. I want you to understand that.
Okay, I appreciate that, but
you're welcome.
Just know that I hold myself to a standard, and that just
is unacceptable.
So.
Well, your last 2 minutes were unacceptable. So, okay, you might want to go back when you send me the show later to put on the podcast. You might want to just delete the last 2 minutes, okay?
I have the power to do that.
And my other recommendation to you as we get to the weekend, get that damn passport, okay? Get your mind right. Get your mind right, Luke. Get your mind right. Rhino, get your mind right. Got to get your mind right. Unbelievable. DAS has their minds right. They are so good at what they do. HVAC service specialist, whether it's repair, new systems, locally owned, family owned, serving Sacramento and Placer counties. Are you ready for what could be a very hot summer? Have you had your air conditioning unit looked at, tuned up, ready to go? If not, get in touch with DAS Mechanical at dasmechanical.org. They're also donating a heating or air conditioning unit to a family in need, yourself, somebody else, a veteran. Just go to dasmechanical.org, click on the 2026 HVAC nomination form, and DAS Mechanical will install either a heating or air conditioning unit to the winner. That's dasmechanical.org. All right, let me get Rhino back on track. Let me get that passport going. Let me get his mind right. That's next here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Aftershock, the West Coast's largest rock, metal, and punk festival, returns to Sacramento this October with My Chemical Romance. Tool. Limp Bizkit. Pierce the Veil. Plus, Suicide Boys, Queens of the Stone Age, The Offspring, A Day to Remember, Wu-Tang Clan, Sublime, Danny Elfman, Baby Metal, Public Enemy, Circa Survive, and so many more. 4 days, 135 plus bands, 5 stages. Aftershock takes over Discovery Park October 1st through 4th. My Chemical Romance, Tool, Limp Bizkit, Pierce the Veil. All 4 days, single day, and premium passes are on sale now, starting at only $1 down. Get yours at AftershockFestival.com.
Tune in Saturday mornings for financial talk that matters. It's the Matter Financial Report with Michael Matter, talking assets, income planning, insurance, retirement, and more. Your money matters. Listen Saturdays at 7 a.m. on Fox Sports Radio Sacramento. Michael Matter offers investment advisory services through Gradient Advisors, LLC, 877-885-0508, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The Matter Financial Group is not a registered investment advisor, nor an affiliate of Gradient Advisors. Insurance offered through Michael Matter, independent agent.
Summer is coming. Backyard parties, barbecues, good times with great people. Take your summer to the next level with an outdoor kitchen or fire pit from Custom Fireside. Custom Fireside has the largest inventory of outdoor kitchen options, fire pits, and fireplaces in the Sacramento area. If you missed us at Capitol Beer Fest, no problem. Now through the end of March, visit one of our 2 locations. Mention Beer Fest and you'll still get Beer Fest savings. Custom Fireside, employee owned and operated in Sacramento and Elk Grove.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners. Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
916-779-0929. Yanks still lead the Giants 3-0, top of the 8th. Giants still with only 1 hit in the ball game. A's and Blue Jays in just a little bit. The NCAA Sweet 16 resumes tonight. St. John's and Duke will get started here at the top of the hour. We'll keep you up to date on everything. Ryan, by the way, you know, because of our age difference, I was referencing a movie from Cool Hand Luke. Have you seen Cool Hand Luke?
I have not.
Oh,
no.
my God. You are kidding me. Come on.
Stop. I could do the exact same thing to you right now.
All right. You need to go see it. Okay. Do me a favor. I want you, in addition to getting your passport,
okay,
you've got to watch Cool Hand Luke with Paul Newman. All right. George Kennedy. It's really one of the great movies of its time. And the chain gang in the South. It is a phenomenal treasure of a movie, Cool Hand Luke. So do me a favor if you can. Put it on your list of things to do. Okay. All right.
Noted.
It is an incredible movie. Incredible.
How long ago was it made?
It was a long time ago.
Yeah. I'm going to say Paul Newman.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Did you
classic movie.
What'd you think about Nebraska's breakdown last night?
Well, it's embarrassing when you only have 4 players on the floor. In all of my years, Ryan, and I'll ask you because you played and you were around a big-time Division I program. Have you ever seen that? I've never seen that happen before. Never. In all my years of covering the NBA, which was 32 years, plus doing a lot of college games, I've never seen that before.
I've never seen 4. I've seen 6 because there's a late sub and somebody doesn't get told that they're not going back in, but they usually get pulled back. And in that type of situation, that's just a absolute heartbreaker.
I understand how you can easily have 10 men on a football field or 12. I get that. Like, because, you know, there's a lot of bodies and I at least can see that. I do not have any understanding of how that situation can occur.
Well, the 5 that are going to be on the floor are usually sitting down on the bench in front of the coach. So you know you're going to be out there, and I would assume that Coach Hoiberg was drawing stuff up of what they wanted to do if they get a steal and vice versa. But that's a tough way, really tough way to go out. And Illinois, I got to say, I am very impressed with the way that they play basketball. Last night I thought was a very good showing for them.
Yes.
They're big. They're very
Yes, they
big.
are.
Yep.
Yeah, they beat Houston, and they're on. They're one win away from the Final Four. How about that?
Yeah. I think they're going to make it there. I think you might see an Illinois and Arizona matchup if they're not on the same side of the bracket.
Yeah. Arizona looks so good. They destroyed Arkansas. All right, I don't know how much of the game you watched. We were very busy with this show and then the Kings post-game show with a Cuff and a guy that is getting a lot of notoriety as we get ready for the NBA draft. So I don't know how much of the game that you watched, but we'll talk about that coming up in a little bit at 916-779-0929. You can also call the show. You can use that to text the show, and we are very happy to discuss whatever you want. Patrick says that movie was made in 1967. Patrick, do you agree with me that the movie Cool Hand Luke was a classic, and even if you were to watch it today, you would still go, wow, what a great movie. I think it's one of the greats. Let's see what Bill in Citrus Heights has to say. Bill, we welcome you to the show. How are you?
Hi, Grant. When I was growing up, I watched them filming the movie because it was filmed right outside Stockton. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Oh, I did not realize that. Wow. I was not aware of that. Thank you for educating me on that. I did not know that.
Yep, it was everybody in Stockton, North Stockton knew about it. It was around the Delta off Davis Road. It was an experience.
Do you know that in high school, we were required in one of our classes to watch that movie and write a paper on the significance of a lot of the scenes in that movie and how it pertains to life and everything else. And I remember breaking down that movie in class. We actually watched the movie in class, and then we all had to write about it. And, well, I think it was an essay we had to write. It was very interesting. I think that movie is one of the great movies with some of the best lines that I can remember in a movie. It's still to this day, I think, a classic, Cool Hand Luke.
Great lines, great actors, great script. I agree with you 100%. I mean, if you go back, and a lot of the actors who became somebody after Cool Hand Luke.
That's
also.
correct. Luke, what we have here is a failure to communicate. One of the great lines, right? Luke, what we have here is a failure to communicate. We're going to get your mind right, Luke.
Exactly.
We're going to get your mind right, Luke. We put you in the box, Luke. You got to go in the box. We got to get your mind right. Right?
By the way, the actor who uttered those famous lines, he was a great swimmer in his earlier age and was a
Look at you
stuntman.
with all this factual information. How about you? We should have had you in my high school class.
It sounds like you had great instructors. So, but no, of course, because we learned a lot about that movie. We went out there on our bicycles and went and watched them making it. So it was
That's
very
incredible
cool thing
to me.
to do.
That is absolutely incredible to me. Wow. All right. Well, thank you, Bill. I appreciate that.
Take care, sir.
You do the same. Have a good weekend. So, Ryan, there you go, buddy. You got your project. You don't have to do it this weekend because I know you have to get your passport ready and that you have a lot of pressure on that. But I want you to put that on your list, okay?
Noted.
Yeah. It's a great movie. I think you really enjoy it.
Do I need to write a paper too?
No, you don't have to. But if you would like to and send it to me via email format, you don't have to do a handwritten paper. I would appreciate that.
Okay. Very good.
Right?
All right. Did you have like Cliff Notes and that stuff around when you were going to school?
No, because that required a pen and a pencil, and very often I didn't have that with me.
No. Okay. No. You don't know what it is then. Okay. Now the tables have turned.
Well, you said notes,
I
and
said
normally
cliff
I didn't. I
notes.
lived in an era where there was no phone, no computer. So if there's notes, how would I have notes with anything on it if I don't have anything to write on the notes?
Cliff notes.
Oh, cliff notes. I'm sorry, I misunderstood you. I can't even remember.
Did you have the book Cheating for Dummies?
I did have that book, actually. I was my favorite book. I actually had multiple copies in case I left one at home. I could always have one wherever I was.
It's so funny because the teachers used to be able to tell the kids that wrote their papers, like if you read a book or you're supposed to be reading a book in class, they could tell the difference between those who had read and those who had not based on the paper, because the Cliff Notes don't give you everything. It's too general.
That's Strother Martin, who was later used with Paul Newman in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Did you ever see that movie?
Sundance Kid? No.
Yeah, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid with Robert Redford and Paul Newman.
Never seen it.
Another classic. A classic of a movie.
You ever seen Anchorman?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
that's number 2 on your list, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, a great Western movie with Paul Newman and Robert Redford.
I mean, how do I find these movies now?
Well, I don't really have any idea. You could probably Google how can you watch Cool Hand Luke. I'm sure it's available because it's one of the true classics of its era, and I mean that. I'm not even.
No,
it's one of the true classic movies in that whole generation.
We had to read and watch Hamlet. I believe it was my junior or senior year. I
would have gotten an F on that class.
Oh, I liked Hamlet. That was good.
I would have gotten an F.
Yeah, that one.
By the way, and I mean this in all sincerity, you ask your father. I bet you people in my generation, you would be hard pressed to find someone in my generation that does not know about Cool Hand Luke, that did not watch Cool Hand Luke.
All right.
So I'm going to say your father knows exactly what I'm talking about.
So I was just having this conversation with somebody about a week ago. And we were talking about like movies, like history wise, if you wanted to show them in school, what would give you like the best reference? Like today, I would say Forrest Gump.
Yeah. Maybe.
There's a lot of history in Forrest Gump.
There's a lot of history in Cool Hand Luke.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, when you watch that movie, you'll be like, wow.
Obviously, it's shown in schools. So, yeah.
Yeah. Incredible.
Check it out.
All right. 916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. By the way, did we do anything with our bracket with best uniforms and everything, or did we let that go on the back burner?
Nope. Starts on Monday.
Okay. All right. Do we have number 1 seed yet?
Bracket will be unveiled this weekend.
Okay.
Yep. It's already set up. I think I already told you the number 1 seeds.
Yeah, you did. You're right.
Yeah.
You're
number
right.
1 seeds are the Yankees for you, and then the Creamsicles.
Yes, for Tampa Bay.
Yep. Those are your ones.
What about the movie The Sting? Did you see that?
No.
Okay. That's another one you should put on your list.
Doesn't sound too pleasurable. The Sting?
The movie's name and
I know,
but I'm just, because you would say, why is it called The Sting? But excellent movie.
You ever seen Ocean's 11?
I loved Ocean's 11.
Great movie. Yeah.
Loved it. Yeah.
Brad Pitt always eating something in every scene.
Yeah. But you go back to watch Cool Hand Luke with one of the great actors of his generation, Paul Newman. Wow. All right. First hour in the books. The second hour straight ahead. The Giants are down to 4 outs, and they still only have 1 hit. They have not scored a run in this season. They're trailing 3-0. They have 4 outs left to get 3 runs. Unfortunately, they only have 1 out left in this inning. 2 hours left right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Injured in an accident? You need a winner in your corner. Call us, the Accident Guys.
Insurance companies hire the best, and so should you. 877-888-GUYS.
Need an accident attorney by your side? All you got to do is call the Accident Guys.
Investors, keep listening to learn how to get your free gold report. A currency crisis is upon us. The U.S. dollar has been the world's reserve currency for over 50 years, but that is changing. It's time to protect your retirement. Decades of reckless borrowing and spending have critically weakened the dollar. The U.S. has become the world's biggest debtor with over $35 trillion in debt. Plus, the dollar's become weaponized. Countries are dumping it. Investors who wait until it's too late could lose big. There is one safe haven: gold. Diversify your portfolio with a physical asset they can't take away. Call the Reagan Gold Group right now and ask for your free gold guide. Here's our number.
800-941-4184. 800-941-4184. 800-941-4184. That's 800-941-4184.
Are you SAC Alert? Have you signed up to receive emergency alerts via phone, text, email, or app? Well, what are you waiting for? Winter is coming, and that means there is potential for storms and flooding in our county. Don't get caught off guard or left in the cold. Get urgent storm evacuation and shelter information immediately sent directly to your device. Sign up today at sacramento-alert.org. Again, that's sacramento-alert.org. It's free, quick, and easy to do, and can literally be a lifesaver.
You've been saying you're going to pay better attention to your home's honeydews. Check one off your list right now by calling Gabrud Services to schedule a 12-point inspection of your home's electrical system. The safe rule of thumb is every 5 years for an inspection. If it's been 5 years or more, call Gabrud's now. A qualified technician will provide a thorough inspection of the electrical system to ensure it's safe or alert you to potential problems. At Gabrud's, electrical work is all we do. We are the area's recognized experts for anything electrical, and our number one priority is ensuring your home and family are safe. You've been saying you'll pay better attention to your home. Stop saying it. Make the call to Gabrud's. Talk with a real person and schedule your 12-point inspection today. Gabrud's, locally owned for more than 30 years. G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Call the good dudes at Gabrud's. G-U-B-R-U-D-S. Gabrud's.com.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. That's 800-690-8445.
I'm retired and worried about the cost of food, medicine, and rent. BenefitsCheckup.org connected me to an extra $1,000 a month. Best of all, it's free. Visit BenefitsCheckup.org today.
Supported by the U.S. Administration for Community Living.
Grant Napear is back every weekday afternoon, 3 to 6. This is Fox Sports, KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst, K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento.
Hour number 2, talking about the stupid decisions by Tiger Woods to continue to drive while under the influence. And these are allegations right now, so I'll put that out there. But arrested today, rolled over his SUV after clipping the back of a truck, was arrested and charged with driving under the influence. Incredible. All right, they're in the 9th. and it is still 3-0. The Yankees, the Giants have not scored a run yet. Have not scored a run yet. How about that? 916-779-0929. Let's get to Tim in Sacramento. Hi, Tim.
Hi, how are you doing, Grant?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. I just wanted to tell you, I went to Lodi High School, and I remember when they filmed that, if you go underneath the Lodi Arch, heading into downtown Lodi,
yep,
go to the right, there's where the parking lot is, where they cut, where you would, Paul Newman was cutting the parking meter heads off.
Really?
Right in
I
downtown
totally
Lodi.
was unaware of that. I thank you for enlightening me with this history like the previous caller. I was totally unaware of that.
Yeah, that was there. And then you do the part where they're out scattering the sand out on the road.
Yeah.
That was filmed out on Liberty Road,
Wow.
which runs into Highway 88. It used to be, back in the 50s and 60s, it was just a dirt road, and it was, there was nobody lived out there hardly even those days.
Yeah.
That was filmed out there. And then a lot of that other part where they, like the chase, right where they were chasing him down and everything, was filmed over in the little town of Thornton.
Wow. I was totally unaware of that. I did not know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for that
It's a
knowledge.
great movie. Seen it
Great
probably
movie.
3 or 4 times.
I've seen it probably 5 times or more. And if I watch that movie right now, well, I wouldn't watch it while I'm on the air, but if I watch that movie tonight, I would enjoy it as much as I did the first time I watched it.
Same here. It's a great movie.
It's truly one of my favorite movies. I think it's one of the best movies. If you really think about totality, you're older like me. Of all of the movies I've seen in my life, I would put that up there on my top of the list. I mean, not number 1, but if I put the top 10 movies I've ever watched in my entire life, Cool Hand Luke, without any question, would be in my top 10. Wouldn't even think twice about it.
Right. That's a really great movie.
Great movie. Thank you, Tim. Have a good weekend. Appreciate
You
it.
too. Take care of yourself.
You too.
Bye.
Gotta love that. Gotta love that laugh. That's a classic laugh right there. All right.
Good news. Just found
Yes.
out Cool Hand Luke is in color and not black and white.
Yes, that's correct. Yes. I knew that already, but thank you for letting me know. Yes.
I'm sucking up to
I know.
the teacher.
Well, you haven't heard from your dad yet on this, huh?
Not checked my phone, but
Okay.
I'm sure.
No problem. It's good. You're working.
Sure,
right?
it won't be long.
Yeah. Yes. So you have to figure out a way to watch Cool Hand Luke. I'm sure it's accessible.
So I found it
Yeah.
someplace where you can catch it for free. Probably not necessarily, quote unquote, legally, but you can rent it on a number of different sites. So
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Put it on your list right underneath Passport.
I am emailing the link to myself right now.
You're going to the Republic game tomorrow, right?
Yeah, looking forward to it. Actually,
That's good. Yeah. It's always fun out there. It's great. Good atmosphere. And I'm hoping to go to matches when they open up the new stadium in 2028. I think that's going to be great to go to the rail yards.
Well, it's good that you know people in high places with the Republic. So I think that's going to be a tough ticket.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be okay getting in there. I don't know that for a fact, but I like my chances.
I like my chances.
I like my chances. And I'll even ask for, well, you would have to go with your family. So I'll ask for 4, okay? Or 5, and we can all go together. How's that sound?
Let's do it. Hey, I'm
Okay.
still waiting for the NFL schedule to come out. If it's Seahawks
Yes.
Giants,
Yes.
we're going.
We'll have to figure out a way to do that. Yes. The only thing is on that Wednesday, I'd have to do the show from outside the stadium. We would do that and then do the 3rd hour from inside the stadium with all the hoopla and everything. I could do that. With the technology we have, we would do that. Could be a fun show.
Yeah, it would be a really fun show.
Yeah.
We do have an update on the text messages.
Yes.
It is from my dad, and it's simply one word: clueless. Seriously? Do better. This
Your dad
movie was made in like 1960 something. I was made in 1984.
I love that. Clueless. I absolutely love it. That is just great. That is awesome.
My goodness.
Yeah. This is Pick on Ryan Day. I got on you for the lottery. Now your dad's getting on you for not knowing about Cool Hand Luke. So this is you might want to just take off and miss the rest of this and end the third hour.
Heck no. Heck no. I'm going to sit here and stick this out.
This is Abuse Ryan Day, right? That's what today is.
You'll get yours at some point. Hey,
yes, I will.
Somebody,
I will.
Somebody on the text line said they did not know that about the lottery either. I thought the same person that was in the room was sequestered until they go on TV. I didn't know it's two separate
because
people.
then how would you know that they wouldn't leak it out? You have no cell phones in the room. You're not allowed a cell phone.
Keyword sequestered.
Sequestered. You are sequestered. No phones, and you don't leave the room until the draft lottery is over.
Yeah. All right. Well, that makes sense. I mean, there's a way to keep them, like if it was one person theoretically that did both, you would keep them sequestered and you would bring them straight to the stage.
Somebody said, Grant, remember when they had to go in the bush? Shake that string, Luke. Yep, absolutely. That was just an incredible movie. Oh, yes.
Y'all are going to make it hard to do this show if we're just going to be quoting movies. Cool Hand Luke that I have not seen.
What about Shawshank Redemption?
Oh, no.
Okay. You know what? You should be ashamed of yourself. Shawshank Redemption is one of the greatest movies of all time, and I've never heard anyone watch that movie and say anything different about it. It is an absolute classic, and I would actually probably recommend that you watch that movie in front of Cool Hand Luke. You have not seen Shawshank Redemption. Write it down right now, son. Write it down right now. I'm speaking for your father. This is you write it down, Shawshank Redemption. Write it down.
It's written down. We're good.
All right. If you do not watch that movie soon, then you will be reprimanded. Do you understand that, sir? Son.
Yes, I do. I do, Father.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to shoot a movie at you. Have you seen Life is Beautiful?
I think I did see Life is Beautiful. I believe I did.
Buongiorno, principessa.
I did see Life is Beautiful, yes.
It's a darn good movie.
Shawshank Redemption is one of the great movies, I think, of all time.
I've seen parts of it. I have just not seen it.
Now, you haven't seen parts of it. You're just saying that.
No,
so
I
that people
swear
don't think
I've
you're an
seen
idiot.
parts of it. I know the
because
big,
you're
the big
trying
guys
to save
in
yourself
there.
from your father.
No, they're trying. I don't. I think I understand the dynamics around it, but what was the actor's name? Big guy. I think he's no longer with us.
In what, Shawshank Redemption?
Yes.
Well, Morgan Freeman stars in that movie.
Okay,
but who else are you thinking of?
He was an inmate.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
I've seen parts, just not the whole thing.
Have you seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Is that a real movie?
Yes, with Jack Nicholson.
No, have not seen that.
Oh my God.
Okay, if you want to play this game, we will go there and play this game.
Can we believe we're having this conversation on a Friday at the end of March?
Can you ask me if I've seen a movie that's been made like post 2000?
Well, I mean, listen, if I asked you about like Babe Ruth, you'd be able to talk to me about it, right? If I asked you about Henry Aaron, you'd be able to talk to me about that. If I asked you about Wilt Chamberlain, you'd be able to talk to me about Wilt. If I asked you to talk to me about Bill Russell, well, what's different than that in the movies?
Because
They're in the same time frame.
Because I've spent my time in sports, not the movies.
All right.
You know, and then you get hooked on these other shows growing up. Like, did you have a TV show that was go-to when you were growing up? You had to see every episode?
When I was a kid?
Teenager, college?
Yes. Yeah, I actually did. I had a couple of them.
Okay, what were they?
The Three Stooges. Mo, Larry, and Curly. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah. Woo, 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 woo. I love Curly's one of my favorite TV actors in the history of television shows.
It's a great show.
Yes. Absolutely.
Was there any others besides that?
Well, when I was very young, Speed Racer, I had to watch that every day after school if I
Speed
wasn't going
Racer.
ice skating.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You're a little bit of Speed Racer yourself on the ice.
Yeah.
Getting in trouble.
At night, if I was staying up later in my junior high and high school years, I would always watch the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson with my mom. She watched every night. Yeah.
That was taped not too far from you, right? Or was
No, that
he in
was
L.A.? He was in L.A.
LA.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was Hollywood.
That's right.
Yeah.
Fallon brought it back to
Yeah. You're
New
thinking of David Letterman.
Letterman, New York, and then Fallon brought Tonight Show back to New York
Right.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so here's what I would recommend to you. Since we already decided on Cool Hand Luke, we're going to go that number one. All right. Then when Shawshank Redemption has to be on your list of a movie that you absolutely must see.
Okay.
You must see that. And then not anytime soon, but write down One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I think it's one of Jack Nicholson. You know who Jack Nicholson is, Ryan?
I believe he's that Lakers fan that has front row tickets, that wears glasses and only tips them down when he wants to look at you. Yes.
Yes. That is one of his best movies, and he's done a lot of great movies.
Have you seen What About Bob?
I have seen What About Bob. Yes.
Man, I'm trying to get you in like your era where I can find one that you have it. That's good. What about Grumpy Old Men?
Yeah, I saw Grumpy Old Men.
Those were great movies.
Yeah, excellent.
Loved Grumpy Old Men.
Yeah. By the way, we should stop the show for big time breaking news. The San Francisco Giants have a runner on third in the ninth inning with 2 outs. So I think that's worth a special interruption of our topics to mention that the game over. So here's the deal, Ryan. You ready for this?
Yeah.
The San Francisco Giants, in 18 innings of play, have no runs and 4 hits. Think about that.
No runs, 4 hits. It's brutal. So how much of that is the Giants and how much of that is the Yankees?
It's too early to tell. You can't make any assumptions based on 2 games.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to bring this up.
You can't.
I'm going to bring this up because this guy, the beautiful chicken, that's the handle on YouTube, was asking you all day yesterday, last night on the post-game show about Tiger Woods.
Yes.
We are aware we don't think he's going to be in the tournament. The beautiful chicken. Got some other things.
That's what this is about? Is he going to be in the Masters? Is that really what we're talking about?
He was asking you yesterday all day if you thought he was going to be in the Masters. Look,
I didn't think he was going to be on the Masters after watching him in the indoor golf league that I watched the other night.
Yeah.
And I would only tell you that even on that, watching him walk, he did not look to me like he was walking very well. And I'm thinking, if you can't walk on a inside venue without laboring, and again, he wasn't laboring where he was breathing hard, but I could tell his gait was off to me. And I'm thinking, how's he going to walk at Augusta with this? That's one of the most difficult 18 holes of walk on the PGA Tour. Do you realize that?
Based off of what you said, yeah.
Yeah, it really is, and I'm not exaggerating. It's a very challenging golf course to walk, and I don't think he would have made it even if he had tried to play. I don't think he would have come close to making the cut. And quite frankly, I don't think he would have. I think he was going to announce he wasn't going to play, because the one thing that Tiger doesn't want to do, unless he's behind the wheel of a vehicle, he doesn't want to embarrass himself.
I got to tell you, this hits different. You know why? His kids are older. Charlie, meaning it's never okay to get a DUI.
No.
The only good thing that's come from this is he has not hurt somebody else. He certainly appears to need some help for something. Definitely with driving.
Yeah.
But his kids are getting to an age. Charlie's got to be close to probably driving. You know, like as your kids get older, I mean, I'm not saying that it's not as serious when they're younger, but they see it through a different lens.
It's definitely beyond alarming
Yeah.
that this continues to happen for Woods. And I say that he was lucky to walk out of the last accident that spun off the road and down the ravine. He's lucky he didn't die in that. But we're also grateful that we aren't talking about a victim,
right,
who has either lost their life or suffered great injury because of Tiger Woods' decisions to get behind the wheel of a vehicle while he's under the influence.
Right. I truly hope that Tiger Woods hits this the exact same way as he hit his other problems in addressing them.
Well, I've got a solution very quickly. Don't ever drive again.
Okay.
And have your own driver.
But that's not the solution, Grant.
Well,
Like,
it is no, you're wrong. It is the solution, in my opinion. I disagree with you.
It's the
in terms of preventing a vehicle accident.
Correct.
In terms of being arrested for driving under the influence, it is the solution.
Correct.
Yes, it is the solution.
You're correct. If we're going to keep it between the lanes of driving and safety.
Yes, that's what we're talking about.
Okay.
I'm not talking about his own personal health. I'm not talking about what he should or should not put in his body. That's for him and his doctors to decide. I'm talking about as it relates to getting behind the wheel of a motor vehicle and going out on the public roads where there are a lot of other drivers and pedestrians and cyclists and everything else. The solution is don't drive anymore.
Can you name another athlete that has been through the self-inflicted things that he has been through?
Sure, there are many athletes that have been through self-inflicted.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
That are as Teflon when it comes to the fan support.
Oh,
as Tiger Woods?
Yes. And that's a great question, and I'm very happy you phrased it that way. I believe that a lot of athletes have been through these situations and have been revered still by the fans. And this is a little bit different, Ryan, because it's an individual sport as opposed to a team sport. But I've talked about this for decades since I've had a microphone in front of me. Unfortunately, because of the emphasis that we put on winning and our sports teams winning, fans will turn their head the other way and root for an individual that they would never invite into their home, would never want dating their son or daughter, would never want anything to do with them on a personal level. But because they make their team win, they turn their head the other way and they share in the jubilation of their success and the team's success. That's the reality of the situation. So, in my opinion, without being able to just list them, Ryan, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right now, off the top of my head, nothing just pops into my mind. But if I give it a few minutes of thought, I will be able to come up with many athletes that have, as you said, had self-inflicted gunshots who are still doing very well at their sport of choice or being an actor or an actress. And people will still flock to their movies because it's entertainment. But in sports, if it helps your team win, I'll tell you right now, Ryan, I think if the Kings got themselves the biggest head case in the NBA, somebody that no one wanted on your team because you didn't want to root for them, but when they ended up on your team, I believe if that individual ended up in Sacramento, well, DeMarcus Cousins was like that. If DeMarcus had helped the team win, those fans that were anti-DeMarcus would have been fine with it. They would have turned their head the other way. And that is the sad reality of where we're at in society.
That's interesting because I don't disagree with you, but I do question that when it comes to Sacramento. I don't know. If you win it.
I'll give you a great example.
Great. If you win it, go ahead.
2 days ago, Barry Bonds was featured on Netflix. Barry Bonds was arguably the worst athlete of his generation in his rudeness and his dealing with the media. Rude beyond comprehension, disrespectful beyond belief, and every member of the media that covered the Giants during that era would back up my story. He also cheated, regardless of how you feel about the steroid era. He was a blatant cheater. And yet he is revered in San Francisco, but nowhere else across the country. And Netflix decided that they were going to make him one of the prominent figures on their TV broadcast.
Yeah.
A guy that despised the media, was disrespectful to the media, was rude to the media, among other things. So I want to get to this when we come back, because I think you brought up a very interesting question to me, but I want to talk to you about Village Financial Group. Buying a home, selling a home, right? Home equity line of credit. Who do you have working for you? Is it someone that you've known for a while? Someone that you trust 100%? Spencer is that guy with Village Financial Group. I've known Spence for a long time. He started his family-owned business as broker and owner back in 2000, Village Financial Group. And it's kind of like a white glove boutique shop experience. Really, that's what Village Financial Group is, where Spence and his staff will take you from the start line to the finish line and make sure that your issues are right down to a very minimum, because he knows how to handle everything. He's a financing specialist. He has access to private money. Call or text Spence at 916-805-4868. That's 916-805-4868. And you can go online and check out thousands of listings available for purchase now at vfgloans.com. That's vfgloans.com. It makes sense to call Spence at 916-805-4868. Village Financial Group, looking out for your best interest. We'll continue on this interesting topic that Ryan brought up. That's next here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
This is Kurt Bagelman. Does your business need more customers? If you said no, congratulations. If you said yes, then you need to consider advertising your products and services. People need to know you exist, and then why your business is worth considering to spend their money with. You also need to advertise to the right audience. For example, Sports Talk listeners have disposable income. They own homes, they're employed, and they earn six-figure incomes. And importantly, Sports Talk listeners listen longer, so your advertising message has more opportunity to be heard. Does your business need more customers? If the answer is yes, then give me a call to schedule a conversation. We'll discuss your objectives, talk about potential strategies, and also determine if Fox Sports Radio is a good station for you to consider. Call me, 916-779-0914. Radio gets results, and we are here to help. Call 916-779-0914.
Who still listens to the radio?
I'll tell you who. People who trust the comforting voices of our community. The Accident Guys have been proudly serving our community for over a decade.
Need an accident attorney by your side? All you got to do is call the Accident Guys.
Just outside of Sacramento is a place where families build friendships that last a lifetime. The Golden State Shooting Center is a clay target shooting facility. It's the home of numerous local high school and youth sport shooting teams. Skeet and trap shooting is a safe, exhilarating sport. School team members can compete for numerous college scholarship opportunities. Teams are being formed now, and new members are welcome. Call the Golden State Shooting Center for details or visit them online at goldenstateshootingcenter.com.
I love the exercise classes at the senior center, and I love eating healthy, but it can be expensive. Benefitscheckup.org connected me to programs that help me pay for groceries. Visit benefitscheckup.org today.
Supported by the U.S. Administration for Community Living.
So the question that Ryan asked me in the last segment, and I'm paraphrasing, could I name an athlete of similar stature to Tiger, but a well-known athlete who has had more self-inflicted harm come their way, meaning he can't blame it on somebody else, and is revered and loved by the members of the media and fans alike as much as Tiger? He's certainly an extreme case. Back to, and I'm going to get to that in a moment, back to Barry Bonds. I thought that Phil Mushnick of the New York Post, who I love, put it perfectly. He wrote a long column on Netflix's coverage of opening day 48 hours ago. And he said the insults never end, or I shouldn't say he said, he wrote, the insults never end. Netflix's special guest on the Yanks-Giants opener was Barry Bonds. I didn't watch, nor could I record it as per pay more for less streaming conditions, but I wonder if Bonds was asked why his head has returned to normal size. Okay?
Brutal. True, though.
Okay. But yes, absolutely. So I want to get to your question. By the way, I don't know why, because I'm not watching it, I'm following it online, why the A's and Blue Jays game is delayed, because the game is played in a dome facility, but they're saying that the game is delayed, and I'm not sure why. I'll try to find out. But so you asked a very good question. Self-inflicted harm, if we can use that term, okay? Athletes that have repeated drug offenses, athletes who repeatedly break the law, but for whatever reason are not suspended or are able to resume their careers or what have you. We're talking about athletes that, again, you used the term self-inflicted, that are still adored and revered by almost everyone across both media and fans alike. I wouldn't say there are a lot of them, but I would think there are some, yes. Not to the stature maybe of Tiger, because he's an icon of all icons when it comes to golf. But the media has always given Tiger Woods a pass with his off the golf course issues. Always.
But is it fair to say the media gave him a pass with everything that happened with his ex-wife and that whole situation? I mean, he faced the music and stepped up to the mic and did that press conference. I guess there's a part of it where you watch Tiger grow up in front of your eyes. He's this kid that comes onto the PGA Tour and starts doing things you've never seen before. He's got the look. He's different than everybody else in terms of the way that he's physically built versus most of the other golfers. Yet he's done some of those things that guys don't ever get a second chance for. And it was kind of in the social media era, but then with the Barry Bonds, as you brought up, none of that was really during the social media era. And unless you were somebody like Mac that was reading the beat writers every day about, Barry Bonds and stuff they didn't like or a bad interaction, I don't think as much of that spread. But I think whereas Tiger is just, he's loved, he's Teflon, Barry Bonds, there's a whole group of people that think he didn't do anything wrong. And I know you called him a cheater. I know that it was part of
Well, he is.
It was okay, but
He was violating the rules of baseball. That's cheating.
he wasn't at first. Didn't the rules have to change? Actually, no, let's have a better. When did he ever have a dirty drug test?
You don't think Barry Bonds took steroids?
No, Grant. Two different things. Did he ever have a dirty drug test?
Factually, no.
Okay. And that's why a lot of, I think, fans still cheer for him. I don't think it's so much for the winning. I think it's because it was an era there was a lot of ambiguity. It wasn't against the rules, but clearly something was off there. Your head doesn't go to that size. Your guy that is taking care of your supplements doesn't get in trouble with the feds and then doesn't speak and just serves his term out.
All right, let me give you another name. Pete Rose. Pete Rose, for the most part, adorned by all baseball fans, right? People, I think the vast majority of people felt that he should be in the Hall of Fame, was constantly lying over and over and over and over and over again, and continued by many, not all, to get a free pass on that.
See, I guess the line, it's a great example. I guess the line that I'm trying to draw is between public sentiment and beloved. I wouldn't call Pete Rose beloved.
I would.
Okay. And you know what? You were around his era. You covered his era. I did not. But Pete did a lot of knucklehead things after all that happened. And yeah, to a degree, he was Teflon. But when Pete Rose passed away, it was not like a world stopper. It was a sports stopper. It wasn't a world stopper. If Tiger Woods were to have passed away in that car accident today, it would have been a world stopper.
Okay, here's another one, but maybe not a great example, but O.J. Simpson. So O.J. Simpson is able to go on with his life, and yet there are those that had no problem hanging out with him, associating with him, play golf with him, right on down the list, right?
Yeah.
So I can't put that on the same line as Tiger Woods because that would be absurd.
No.
But certainly an example.
Definitely an example, but I would say the majority, in my opinion, of people despised him.
There are a lot of people that despised him, and rightfully so. By the way, because of your embarrassment of not knowing the greatest movies of all time, is that why you don't want to go on camera with me on our YouTube channel?
Of course.
Okay.
Camera, my bad.
I'm just wondering.
See, I think they despise.
I think maybe you didn't want to show your face again.
No. You're killing me. What's wrong with you? I'm a punching bag, Napes. I'm just going to keep coming back at you. Yeah, I think most people despised him, especially it's one thing, even though he was acquitted, to have to continue through life. And it's another to come out with a book that ultimately I don't think ever came out really. If I did it, this is how I did it. You know, like he kind of made his moniker on that.
How about Lance Armstrong?
Not on that level.
No, not on that level, but there are a lot of people that have given him a pass and a lot of people that have no problem interviewing him to let him talk about his story and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Still has a lot of fans and, you know, I'm just, again, just wondering.
Okay, so this is the perfect example. If Lance Armstrong went out and rode the Tour de France this year and won, would the world attention and both the fan reception have matched what Tiger did in 2019 at Augusta?
No, that's a great point. Very well said. Very, very well said. No, there's no question Tiger has received a pass pretty much his entire life from fans and the media. There's no doubt about it.
But I guess and what I'm trying to get at is why. What is it? You know, that whole Tiger.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to call it a documentary, but there was a film made on HBO that really was not great in his favor when it comes to some of the womanizing but
Mhm.
it also laid out another side of the story of what he grew up around. And so I feel like there's certain individuals, whether it be in Hollywood, whether it be in sport, that grow up in front of America's eyes and do just incredible, amazing things, and they just feel like one of America's sons. And Tiger's kind of like that. I mean, everything stopped today the second a report came out that he may have been in another accident.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a break. Can you find out, Ryan, if you? I'm just curious. I don't have the access to do it while I'm talking live on radio, and when you're talking, you don't. But maybe during the break, can we find out why the Jays game is delayed, or maybe somebody can help us?
Yeah.
On the text line, why is that game delayed when they have a dome? Is there something wrong within the stadium? Did something happen? Why is that game currently delayed? We'll get to that and more right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Aftershock, the West Coast's largest rock, metal, and punk festival, returns to Sacramento this October with My Chemical Romance, Tool, Limp Bizkit, Pierce the Veil, plus Suicide Boys, Queens of the Stone Age, The Offspring, A Day to Remember, Wu-Tang Clan, Sublime, Danny Elfman, Baby Metal, Public Enemy, Circa Survive, and so many more. 4 days, 135 plus bands, 5 stages. Aftershock takes over Discovery Park October 1st through 4th. My Chemical Romance, Tool, Limp Bizkit, Pierce the Veil. All 4-day, single day, and premium passes are on sale now, starting at only $1 down. Get yours at AftershockFestival.com.
Get the best. Bridgestone tires are engineered to keep your world moving, and that's what really matters. Now through March 31st, buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone tires and get $80 back on a Bridgestone prepaid MasterCard. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. For the best selection in Bridgestone tires, get to Expert Tires and Brakes at 5810 Auburn Boulevard. Expert Tires and Brakes. Save big and get their 60-minute install guarantee. Expert Tires and Brakes, 5810 Auburn Boulevard. That's Expert Tires and Brakes.
Are you SAC Alert? Have you signed up to receive emergency alerts via phone, text, email, or app? Well, what are you waiting for? Winter is coming, and that means there is potential for storms and flooding in our county. Don't get caught off guard or left in the cold. Get urgent storm evacuation and shelter information immediately sent directly to your device. Sign up today at sacramento-alert.org. Again, that's sacramento-alert.org. It's free, quick, and easy to do, and can literally be a lifesaver.
Call the good dudes at Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Homeowners, if you have an electrical project you need done, then you need the good dudes at Gabrudes. Family owned and operated for 30 years, Jay Gabrude and his team are the area's recognized experts for everything electrical, from the very basic like repairs, lighting upgrades, and whole house fans, to the biggies, panel replacements, EV stations, and backup generators. Gabrudes does it all and does it right the first time. They're actually the guys their competition recommends. Gabrudes, expert, 5-star service, and always transparent, honest prices and solutions. Say goodbye to your electrical issues. Visit Gabrudes.com or call 24/7 and speak with a real live person. Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Call the good dudes at Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S, Gabrudes.com.
For over a century, Flex Steel has crafted seating with our signature Blue Steel Spring technology, delivering durability and ultimate comfort to enhance your everyday. From living rooms to bedrooms, our designs blend style with innovation to create furniture that feels as good as it looks and lasts for years to come. With a wide range of styles, fabrics, and finishes, Flex Steel makes it easy to find pieces that reflect your personal taste while withstanding all of life's moments. Thoughtful design, quality materials, and trusted construction come together to deliver comfort you can count on. Flex Steel is designed to create cohesive, comfortable spaces throughout your home. Whether you're relaxing after a long day, hosting friends, or spending time with family, Flex Steel is built and styled to support you.
From movie nights to quiet mornings, our pieces are made to hold up and hold memories for generations. Find furniture for every room in your house. Live your lifestyle. Browse our selection and find your local retailer today. Visit flexsteel.com.
So I guess from what we can tell, it's just the American League champion Blue Jays and their opening night festivities and everything that have kind of run long from what we can tell. 916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. Right? Isn't that what you think it is? Pre-game stuff?
Yeah, I was just listening to the A's broadcast team talking about how it was one of the most phenomenal opening ceremonies they've seen in a long time.
It was one of the what? Longest?
Most phenomenal opening day ceremonies and anthems that they've seen in a while. But
really?
I only caught just a tiny bit of it.
Okay. All right. 916-779-0929. College basketball, and they have begun the second part of the Sweet 16 bracket with St. John's leading Duke 26-23, 7:25 left to go in the first half. Alabama and Michigan will start here momentarily. Then this evening, it's Michigan State and UConn, Tennessee and Iowa State about 30 minutes after tip-off there. So that keeps you caught up on your Sweet 16. How awful of a start for the San Francisco Giants. No runs in 18 innings of play, blanked twice by the Yankees, 3 hits in the opener on Wednesday, and they were 1 hit today. That's brutal. Absolutely brutal. Let's say hello to Lynn. Lynn, welcome to the show. How are you?
Grant, how are you doing today?
Good, Lynn. Thank you.
I want to circle back on your rant on Wednesday mornings that you did on the Netflix. Did you get a chance to listen to your drop on Apple Podcast?
Did I listen to what on Apple Podcast?
Your rant that you did on the Netflix game.
Well, I didn't listen to it. I listened to it after I did it before I uploaded it, but go ahead.
So the funny part of it, I know you don't control the commercials, Grant, but the funny part of it, Grant, was when you first play it, they always have a commercial. And the commercial was Netflix advertising the game, which was hilarious. And then when we get to your rant, which made it so wild to do, it was one of the funniest things ever. Hearing the advertisement, I saw what it was called. I was like, oh, this is going to be classic. So if you get a chance to listen to Grant, you'll have a good laugh. I want to go and talk about... I want to go back and talk about the paid behind wall. About a week ago, I was talking to you, and Ryan mentioned MLS, how it's almost non-existent now. I don't know if you know, back in 2022, they signed, Grant, a $2.5 billion, that is correct, Grant, $1 billion deal with Apple TV to go behind the paywall. They were averaging 500,000 people watching the games on ESPN. They were all excited with their 2025 numbers where they were at 120K with a 50% raise. So that means the 2024, they're only getting 80K. So it dropped from 500,000 people watching it down to 80,000 people because it's behind a paywall. So sometimes going behind paywall, you won't get the eyeballs. Yes, the owners will get money. What makes this even more weirder, Grant, is they have the F1 rights. They paid $150 million to Liberty Media to have F1 rights. So that MLS is costing Apple $100 million more a year to broadcast that. I mean, we don't have to worry about
That's
Apple.
unbelievable.
They have $70 billion in the bank right now. But what's funny about this is after that F1 deal, they paid $50 million to the Major League Soccer to exit that deal out 3 years early. So we can start to see that some of this paywall is not working, and we're seeing some of these subscribers like Apple TV is looking and already got out of this 10-year deal and made it into a 7-year deal. And I want to move over to your topic earlier, the movies.
Yep.
I can see how Mr. Ryan didn't see the Cool Hand Luke, because that thing was made the year I was born, back in the 60s.
Right.
But how did he miss Shawshank Redemption? Last time I checked, that movie was out there when he was alive. And Grant, you're right. That is one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yes,
With Tim Robbins
exactly.
and Morgan Freeman.
Yep.
And whenever
Yep.
I watch that movie, Grant, even if I've seen it multiple times, but if it's on like
Me too.
TNT, Grant, I just watch it from where I'm at because it's that good a movie. So Ryan,
I totally
you
agree.
need
I
to
could
go
watch
watch that.
Shawshank Redemption. I could watch it once a year and not get tired of it.
It is the best one. I'm with
It's like
Ryan
Bucket
if you
List.
can
I
answer
love
this
the
question.
movie Bucket
Yeah.
List with Morgan Freeman and Jack Nicholson.
Mhm.
I could watch that movie every year and never get tired of it.
So has
And
Ryan
laugh.
actually even seen the Godfather 1 and 2 yet? You need to answer that after I get off the air. Grant, you have yourself a great weekend. Ryan, I didn't mean to pick on you.
No, you're good, Lynn.
Today's Pick on Ryan Day. We don't have a problem with it. Ryan, that's part of working with me. It's Pick on Ryan Day every now and then.
So, Ryan, did you able to see those?
I've seen part of The Godfather 1.
Okay.
Man, you need to add the Godfather 1 and 2 to your list with the.
What about Hangover?
Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, I've seen all the Hangovers. Yeah,
Okay.
for
All right.
sure.
Just making sure.
For sure.
You enjoy them?
Yeah, I thought those were good.
Yeah.
Lynn, you seen the Hangovers?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I think I'm probably a little bit more hip with my movies than Grant, maybe.
Yeah. Thank you, Lynn.
I'm
Have a
not
good
sure.
weekend.
See you guys later. Take
Thanks,
care.
Lynn.
Yes. Yeah, the Hangovers, just if you really just want to laugh for 2 hours, go that direction.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
You just brought up one of those athletes indirectly by saying The Hangover. Mike Tyson.
Yep. Okay. That's a great one. Mike Tyson. So, would you put him in the same category as, well, I'll give you this example. I was at the airport in Sacramento flying to Las Vegas, probably, I would say 2018, 2019, right around there, okay?
Yeah.
And Mike was in the waiting area flying on Southwest Airlines from Sacramento to Vegas with one
Really?
individual. Yes. He had individual after individual after individual after individual after individual coming up wanting to take his picture. He obliged everyone. Absolutely everyone. We get on the plane and the flight attendant on the PA makes a special announcement that the great Mike Tyson is accompanying us to Las Vegas today.
Wow.
Now, when you look at his misdeeds, right?
Yeah,
Almost, he's universally loved, is he not?
he is.
So that's a great example that you just made. And I had to bring up the Hangover movie for us to even remember Mike Tyson.
And I proved that I've seen The Hangover. That would have been The Hangover 2.
Which one did you like? Yeah, that was Hangover 2 in Thailand.
The original's pretty darn good. It's
Yeah.
hard to beat the original.
I love because I love Thailand and it just made me laugh. And I've been part of the movie. I've been to the same places that the movie shot scenes in, such as the State Tower, the Dome, which is regarded as one of the top rooftop bar restaurants in the world. They actually, in that hotel, I pronounce it Labua. I don't believe that's how it's pronounced here. If you travel to different parts of the world, it's pronounced one way here in America. It's pronounced another way over in Asia. It's pronounced another way over in Europe. I call it the Labua because it's a chain.
Okay.
So the Labua Hotel, they actually have a hangover suite where part of the movie was filmed, and it's called the Hangover Suite. I believe it's a 3-bedroom suite that is available for accommodations.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure, there's been a number of bachelor's parties.
Oh, I would
that,
think so.
Occupied.
Yes.
And tried
Yes.
to reset that.
By the way, if you are going to get your passport and you're going to travel around the world and you're going to go to Japan, and you make it 6 hours south from there, 6-hour flight to Bangkok, you have to go to Sirocco in the Sky Bar. It's like, I think it's on the, I don't know, 61st, 62nd, 63rd floor, whatever.
Okay.
It is the Condé Nast magazine has it rated as the top rooftop bar restaurant in the world.
Wow.
And it is one of the great venues for a experience that you'll ever have.
I will note that down.
Yes. I'm going to have a whole list for you. I'm going to have a movie list and a
Yes.
travel list. And what's great, these flights that you will be on are so long, you can figure out a way to watch all of these movies on your flights.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you will literally go, Napes, I am so dialed in for this flight. You got me watching this. I've already downloaded. I'm good to go. And I can't wait to get on that 15-hour flight.
You know it. Better be
Right?
ready. Yes. I'm going to
Am,
save
have I come through for you or what? See, now I'm really, I was rough on you in the first hour and 30 minutes. Now I'm trying to change my leaf. I'm trying to, change my tone, and I'm going to help you out for the rest of the show.
Don't pull the curtain back. It was always the plan. You were going to break me down to build me up and give me a, good motivating kick in the tuchus.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you are done, that will be continued from your dad.
Please no.
Well, I'm just telling you, you think it's not just 3 hours.
Yes, I know. I think he still has a flag in, like, one of those pirate flags that said if morale doesn't improve, the beatings will continue in the backyard. So,
from the 916, part of The Godfather is absolutely unacceptable. Please handle that, Grant. I'm not handling that. If you don't like it, don't watch it.
no, I love that style of movie. Y'all got to realize, like, sports here. I am more of the funny, comedic. I do like some action. Like,
okay, I misread the text. First of all, I thought he said part of the movie is unacceptable. You mean watching parts of it is unacceptable?
Yes.
Hey, I'm not. I've already been on Ryan's case enough today. I'm gonna cut him some slack.
So I'm more of that genre, and I've seen a lot of kids movies the last 10 years.
I bet you have. Yes, that does happen. Yes.
Times
Yes.
3 and 4 and 5 and 6, the same movie.
Duke now leads St. John's 35-28 with 3:25 left in the first half. All right.
It's a good game. It's a really good game.
Yeah, it is. It is. A's are batting in the top of the first. They have that game was just delayed because of the pregame festivities. Again, they are batting in the top of the first, starting their season. Toronto, obviously, starting their season. Giants still looking for their first runs of the season. 7-0 in the opener, 3-0 in game 2. Can you imagine, like, being a Giants fan and you got the Yankees in town and you've had your tickets and you're going to go to a couple of the games and you're so pumped up and you're got the emotion and the excitement. You don't even have anything to cheer for. You haven't had anything to cheer for. Seriously, and I mean this. You have not had anything to cheer for in the first 2 games in 18 innings of baseball.
Can you imagine being a Yankees fan that made the trip to go to both games?
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that would be pretty cool, huh?
That'd be really cool.
Yeah. Of course, they still have more games to go. But I'm just wondering, when you think about the start of the season, and again, I don't put anything in the 2 games, but if you're the Yankees, you could not really ask for anything better other than Aaron Judge only has 1 hit in 8 plate appearances, although it was a big hit. It was a 2-run homer in the 6th that broke the scoreless tie. But if you're a Giants fan and you have a rookie manager coming from college, right? And again, they will continue with a lot of criticism is going to be always coming that way because it's the media, right? And the last thing you want right now, as they will play again tomorrow, the last thing you want, Ryan, is a disastrous start where they start questioning the manager. That's the last thing you want. But again,
it's too
Yankees
early.
Win 3.
It's too early to do that.
I know, but you know how the media will be.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Great point.
But again, they'll play again tomorrow. We'll see if the Giants can get on the scoreboard. But horrible start. Horrible start. All right. Grant's Rant. Wow. Are we already at Grant's Rant? Yes, we are. That's coming up next right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Did you know we're on YouTube? Did you know you can find all of your favorite shows on YouTube?
Look at us. We're waving at you right now.
Did you know that you can find the best clips and the best videos from your favorite shows?
All the interviews, clips, everything is there.
This is why you're the smartest listeners in the world.
Completely agree.
Because you went to YouTube and you searched Fox Sports Radio, and you are the ones that hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. You're the ones that watch videos from Two Pros and a Cup of Joe with Jonas Knox, Brady Quinn, and LeVar Arrington.
You can't even make this up. You got some holy water in your bag, baby.
Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd.
Wow.
Cavino and Rich, The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Oh, my God. Oh, boy.
The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon.
Think about that for a second.
And the Ben Maller Show.
Fox Sports Radio.
On YouTube.
That's strong stuff.
By searching Fox Sports Radio.
Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe. Hit that thumbs up icon and comment away.
It's the All Things Legal Show, heard every Saturday morning from 8 to 9. Join your host, Craig Ashton, with an entertaining and eclectic view of all things legal. Saturday mornings from 8 to 9. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Get the best. Bridgestone tires are engineered to keep your world moving, and that's what really matters. Now through March 31st, buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone tires and get $80 back on a Bridgestone prepaid MasterCard. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. For the best selection in Bridgestone tires, get to Express Tires at 7215 Watt Avenue in Sacramento. Express Tires. Save big and get their 60-minute install guarantee. Get to Express Tires at 7215 Watt Avenue now. Express Tires.
My retired friends are going back to work. I'm worried Social Security won't be enough. BenefitsCheckup.org connected me to $1,000 a month for food and medicine. It's free. Visit BenefitsCheckup.org today.
Supported by the U.S. Administration for Community Living.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. In a sport that never stops talking about loyalty, the silence can be just as telling as the outrage. Will Wade is leaving NC State after a year to head back to LSU. Based on the reaction we've seen and heard so far, when players depart, the move should have stirred up more controversy. Instead, barely a peep, because in today's college game, movement isn't judged equally. When a player goes in the transfer portal, the reaction is often harsh. Questions of loyalty, toughness. Administrators rush to claim tampering. Fans question commitment, and the player becomes villainized. It's not the case with coaches. Wade has every right to make the move. That's not up for debate, but the absence of criticism, especially compared to what players face, is up for debate. It's not about the decision being wrong. It's about how differently the same decision is being received in college athletics. That is, depending on who makes that decision. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. 2 words, prostate exam. Relax. Screening starts with a simple finger-free blood test. Around 1 in 8 men in the United States will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. Prostate cancer can have over a 99% 5-year relative survival rate when caught at a localized or regional stage. If you're 40 or over and have a prostate, visit relaxitsabloodtest.com to see if a PSA blood test is right for you. Talk to your doctor about screening and the next steps. Sponsored by Novartis. Tires matter. They're the only part of your vehicle that touches the road. Tread confidently with new tires from Tire Rack. Whether you're looking for expert recommendations or know exactly what you want, Tire Rack makes it really easy. Fast, free shipping, free road hazard protection, convenient installation options, and the best selection of Goodyear tires. Go to TireRack.com/Dan. See their Goodyear test results, tire ratings, and reviews. Be sure to check out all the special offers. TireRack.com. The way.
Grant's back. Join the conversation every weekday afternoon beginning at 3 p.m. KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst, K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento.
It's time for Grant.
Rhino, what do you think? How
Grant,
should I get us to the weekend?
You know, Grant, it wasn't that long ago that an NBA referee doing her job accidentally hit her head on a camera because a cameraman was in the wrong spot.
Yes.
Well, last night in the Milwaukee Bucks game, and I don't mean like at the game, while the game's going on, Conor McGregor is walking up and down the Bucks bench and even stands up, has one of the players stand up and stare him down. Grant.
Yeah, Robin Lopez.
Adam Silver, get a hold of your league. Get a hold of it, Adam.
You know, stop right there. What is going on in the NBA right now is embarrassing. I mean, it really is. The money aside, which is great, the tanking issue has overtaken the league, where that's what is being talked about, including the reports today by Shams Charania of ESPN outlining the 3 proposals that was discussed at the NBA Board of Governors meetings, which are the most absurd, ridiculous, confusing proposals that I've ever read in the history of professional sports. And then you have the video of Conor McGregor, all right, who is able to go up just unstopped, unchecked, and go walk up and down the Bucks bench and then have a conversation with Lopez where he then stands up. Like, what is that all about? In the middle of the freaking game? Not during a timeout, like in the middle of a game. Like, what is that all about? Seriously, the game is going on. There's an individual at the free throw line, and McGregor is walking up and down the Bucks bench, literally walking up and down the bench. No one's saying anything to him, okay? No one. Then he talks to Robin Lopez, and they're in a conversation, so much so that Lopez then stands up, okay? Stands up. And McGregor is just like looking up at him while the game is going on, just walking up and down the bench. I mean, nothing bad happened, but that's not the point. Like, what kind of sport is the NBA turning into? Where is it selective? Really, are we going to let LeBron James brush an official not once, but twice? And he doesn't even get a fine. And then a couple of games later, another player, and I can't remember the name, brushes an official and they get suspended for a game. Like, what is going on here? And then you got the tanking dominating the league, and you come up with 3 awful, embarrassing proposals. It's a joke. It really is. And you're right about Adam Silver. Get a grip on your league. Get control of your league. That cannot be allowed. It's a bad look for the NBA. You know why it's a bad look? Because who's going to be next? And who's going to carry it too far? Where it turns into pushing and shoving instead of just a conversation. In the middle of the game, for crying out loud. This was not during a timeout. It was while the game was going on. It's embarrassing. It's a bad look for the league. This tanking is a bad look for the league. These proposals that were revealed today are a bad look for the league. Wake up, Adam Silver, or hand the job over to somebody that's got a pair. Would you please? And that's my rant for today. Unbelievable. That video, Ryan, is incredible, is it not?
I had to double check that it wasn't AI.
Wow. That says a lot.
It's just, if that's a fan, you're tackled, right?
Yes, you're tackled. It shouldn't be allowed, period. I don't care who you are. Why? Because you're a famous, idiotic boxer, you know, who have done many stupid things in your life. You now get a chance to walk up and down the bench? Come on.
And it certainly didn't look like it was planned either.
No.
You know, I guess, should the officials have stopped the game? Like, did they think Conor was a member of the team staff? I don't know, but you just got to do better than that. I feel like the NBA, and I've been saying this for a few weeks now, they are just putting up like smoke screens, like the stuff that everybody wants to hear about expansion and we're going to fix the tanking problem, and trying to draw your attention over here and away from all the bad stuff that's going on. I don't know.
I'm with you. Because if this talk, well, you can't have tanking dominate the talk in the playoffs because teams won't tank in the playoffs.
Right.
But you would hope that the news soon in the NBA shifts from where it is now to what's going on the floor. Because a lot of the news this year, Ryan, has been dominated from the gambling scandals, right,
Yeah.
to the tanking. The news this year in the NBA has been dominated by off the floor as opposed to on the floor. And that's never good for a league.
Never. It's a great point. And don't forget, we still have the Clippers investigation, which is also.
How long does an investigation take, Ryan?
Okay, I'm glad that you asked that, because there is a federal aspect to this where there is an ongoing federal investigation. And I think from the last thing from a credible source that I heard was there's more and more stuff that needs to be reviewed because there's more coming out. So, and I think Adam Silver kind of alluded to that, and why the law firm that was hired to do this review, they weren't going to push the timing. So that's going to be a big thing on its own, Grant.
No question. No question. It is going to be a big thing. Boy, this second half is shaping up to be a dandy with St. John's and Duke.
It looks
At
good.
the half, it's 40-39 to Johnny's.
It's going to
That
be
was
a good one.
back and forth first half. That's going to be a heck of a 20 minutes.
Could you believe last night that Houston, I know we talked about Illinois earlier, but that game was in Houston. There was more orange in Houston.
Yes.
And they only had 32 points in 35 minutes of 35 points in 32 minutes of play.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Illinois has always traveled very well. You know, I worked there for 3 years, and they always used to travel very well for their basketball and football teams. Always traveled well. Yeah.
They've definitely, and they mentioned this on the broadcast, they have that pipeline to the European players, especially Serbian, and it shows.
Yes. One of my great thrills in my life was sitting on the floor at the Illini basketball games.
Oh.
With a camera on my shoulder, shooting video of Illinois playing Bobby Knight's Indiana Hoosiers with Steve Alford, or Michigan with Roy Tarpley, or I can go right on down the list when Illinois was a top 10 team, sitting on the floor on the baseline and being on a Saturday afternoon game that was the NBC college basketball game of the week with Al McGuire and Billy Packer.
Yeah.
And whether it was Dick Enberg or Bob Costas, or those were great memories for me. Great memories for me.
Love that.
When you had Dick Enberg in the house with Al McGuire, or you had, with McGuire and Packer, or like when you had that scene and you had Bobby Knight, which I told you the story. Bobby Knight comes in on a nationally televised game and benches his starters. Doesn't play Steve Alford, doesn't play his other starters, benches them. National TV, game of the week, big game, both top 10 ranked teams. All right? Top 10 ranked teams. And doesn't play anyone. And he walks into the post-game press conference. He's one of the few coaches that can intimidate the media. Bobby would intimidate the media. Bobby Knight walks into the press conference and just starts talking. Doesn't talk about anything going on with the game. Talks for about 3 to 4 minutes. Doesn't even bring up the game. And at the end he says, but the one thing I've realized more than anything is that my team needs a lot of work. And he walks off the podium without taking a question. Not a question like, you didn't get a chance to ask him, Bobby, how come you didn't play Steve Alford today?
And I'm sure nobody was going to go chase him down to get that asked.
Nope.
Either.
Nope. How about that? On national TV, the game of the week on NBC, no Alford and the other starters not playing.
So we were a nothing game. We were, I don't think it was on TV. It was on TV locally and probably in San Diego. But I think I've told you this. We played Texas Tech when Bobby Knight was the coach, and just to be sitting there looking across, like, that's Bobby Knight. And after the
Yep.
game, because they only beat us by, I think it was like 14 or 16, he had his team in the weight room. There was a
Yeah.
weight room right there that we walked by, and we could see them working out in their gamers.
Well, I covered a team that was just the opposite with Lou Henson. Lou was the nicest. Lou was a great coach. And I told you the story. I went up to 45-minute drive from where I worked to get to Champaign, and it's a huge game coming up, and I do a sit-down interview with Lou Henson in his office. And I get back to the studio, and I'm so pissed because I'm getting ready to edit this, and the cameraman did not white balance the camera. So the camera was all pink and purple. The video, I couldn't use it. So I called up the sports information director. I said, hey, I explained to him the situation. He goes, hang on, I'll call you back. So the phone rings, pick it up off the wall. It's the sports information director. He said, Lou said if you can get here within an hour, he'll be happy to do the interview with you again. I get my cameraman. I get in the car. We run into Lou's office. I go, Lou, I am so sorry. I so apologize. I got back. He goes, Grant, don't even worry about it. I understand things happen. I turn to my cameraman. I go, you got a white balance now? But like how many Division I college coaches, big time coaches would say, Grant, I understand. No problem. Things happen. And gave me the interview all over again. How about that? So I was in the car because it's 45 minutes each way, 2 round trips to do the interview with Lou Henson.
Those are the things, and not that you were Lou Henson as a coach, but those are the things that you pass forward in what
Yes.
you do.
I do. And I have.
You know?
That's happened to me before. And I've said, yeah, sure, no problem. I've had people interview me and they go, hey, I hate to say this, but the mic was cutting out. Can we do whatever? I'm like, yeah, no problem. No problem. I get it. I've been there. You know, if you're in this business, you're always going to have technical issues. Okay. It's unavoidable. I don't care whether you are Fox doing the Super Bowl, right? Or you're doing a Kings game. It doesn't matter. Whatever level of broadcasting that you're on, you are at times going to have technical issues. I've been on the air many a times when my producer has said, we lost camera, you got to do a radio play-by-play. Or, hey, we lost sound. We'll let you know when it's back on. Or being on a podcast and whatever, being on a live radio show, and then boom, all of a sudden you're like, what happened? The power went out.
Yeah.
Like, it's part of the deal. Camera people, right? You think everything's fine. You got the lavalier mic on. Test 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you get back to the studio and you're like, wow, the audio doesn't sound right. You can't hear, what have you. Well, maybe it was in the wrong jack. It's part of life. We're not perfect. Umpires make mistakes. Players miss free throws.
Right.
We don't put our equipment on the right. I told you when I used to do Bowling Green hockey and I was a one-man band and I was responsible for everything. And when I went to the radio station to pack up my equipment, I packed it once and then I took it out of the box again and I made believe that I was setting up and I packed it again. I had a backup phone. I had everything. And I made sure that I wasn't in a hurry. I made sure that I wasn't foggy with my mind, meaning that I hadn't been at the fraternity party at 5 a.m. the night before. I made sure that this equipment was going to be good when I unpacked it after my 10-hour bus ride.
Yeah.
To do, because I did everything back then. I had to do the pregame show. I had to do pregame. I had to do interviews that I recorded before the game for in between periods. I didn't have an analyst. I did the pregame. I did the play-by-play. I did the in-between period, and I did the post-game show. And you had to make sure that you had extra batteries to go in case the tape recorder that you were using, the batteries went dead, and you're in the middle of interviewing somebody for the in-between period interview. Couldn't do that. You had to make sure that you had the batteries, and you had to, I mean, it was a great learning experience for me where like you had to single check, double check, triple check, and make sure that you had to plan for any possible issues that would arise. So I had a backup telephone. That's what we used with can't remember what the term was called. And I had my own tape recorder. I had to make sure I had extra batteries. I had to have an extra cassette tape. Everything. You had to make sure that you were planning for abnormal situations, mechanical issues that would pop up.
And I was going to say, you can do all that. You can double check, double plan, and things still don't go right. I had Grayson Waller, WWE superstar, here in studio. And guess what?
I remember that.
Everything's all set up, but that was the day. I forget whose server was down. It was like Apple's or Amazon's server was down. And we had to do it a separate way. But yeah, it's a great reminder. And it's cool that you share that and kick that
Well, I
forward.
love being a one-man band. I love doing it all. I love being responsible for the broadcast getting on the air. And I love being responsible for the entire content of the show, from interviewing the coach to the in-between period interviews to the play-by-play to whatever. I love that. That was such a great, I mean, I was 19, 20 years old, and I'm doing a Division I hockey game with 2 top 10 teams, and I'm the show.
Yeah.
And I've got to make it so that people, and we had a huge audience up Bowling Green for the road games. Huge.
Well,
like
yeah,
it wasn't just a couple of people. Like I had a lot of people that were listening that were huge hockey fans that weren't going to drive 10 hours to go to Marquette, Michigan, or wherever we were. I used to have a large audience. What
would you do on the buses?
I'll tell you exactly what I would do. I had paper cut in little squares, and I would write all the numbers down from the opposing team. And on the back, I would write all their names. And I would rehearse over and over and over again. When I saw a number, the name had to be instantaneous. So in hockey, you don't have a chance to look down at your roster. But here's what I used to do, and I used to tell young aspiring broadcasters of this all the time. There were times, once in a while, where I would forget who number 14 was on, let's say, Lake Superior or Ferris State or Ohio State. I would just make up a name until I could look down, because nobody listening is going to know whether that name is really that individual's name or not.
Unless it's Nucci or Ruggles.
Well, yeah, if it's Nucci or Ruggles, well, I would put Nucci or Ruggles in sometimes. But no, seriously. So I would just make up the name instead of pausing, because I didn't want to ever break up the flow of my play-by-play. Like flow and rhythm.
Yeah.
I always tell young broadcasters, that's what you want to get. You want flow, you want rhythm, and you can't have flow and rhythm in a hockey game if you forget a player's name and you have to look on your roster. You don't have time to do that. And if you do, by the time you look back up, the puck could be at the other end of the ice, or you could have missed a breakaway or what have you. But on radio, whereas you couldn't do this on TV, but on radio, you can do it. I could make up a name.
Mm-hmm.
But even to this day, and I'm talking about games that were played in 1979, 1980, 1981, I remember numbers and names of even some of the opposing players that I would do. Now, you might ask, well, how do you do that? And I'm talking not for me. I'm not bragging. I'm talking about young, aspiring broadcasters.
Yeah.
You might remember the names for Ohio State, and then the next weekend you're playing Michigan. Well, most of the players' numbers are the same. Everyone wearing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But the following week, you have different names. So how is it that you would not use the Ohio State names when you're in Michigan? And again, I go back to my numbers. Boom. I kept doing it over and over and over and over again in my mind, even leading up to the game, like right before the game began, in my mind, going over the numbers. So like it became instantaneous, and the names of last week weren't fresh in my mind anymore.
Right.
I've got new names. And then the following week, I've got new names with the same corresponding numbers, but I've been doing it so much. Now and again, I would fail my midterms and my finals, and I couldn't get through, Algebra 101 in college, but this was no problem for me to remember names and numbers every week with the same numbers, but now it's different names corresponding to those numbers.
It's incredible.
Used to do it. Used to love it. Used to live for that. And college hockey, what a great sport.
Learn
What a
something
great
new
sport.
every day. I love
Absolutely.
when I learn something new from you.
You're not learning anything new with DAS Mechanical. You know that they are outstanding at what they do. You know about the 5-star reviews and their numerous best of the best awards. And if you listen to the show every day, you probably know that they are donating a heating or air conditioning unit to an individual in need, yourself, somebody you nominate, or maybe a veteran. You go to dasmechanical.org, click on the 2026 nomination tab. All right, it's the 2026 HVAC nomination tab. Just fill out the form and you'll be good to go. All right. And then DAS Mechanical will select the winner, and DAS Mechanical will install either a heating or air conditioning unit. Family owned and operated, serving Sacramento and Placer counties. DAS Mechanical for all of your HVAC service and repairs. They are awesome. That's dasmechanical.org. We are getting you to the weekend. We're going to update you on some scores, including the A's, the Blue Jays, the Sweet 16, St. John's, and Duke getting ready to start the second half, and more right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Are you SAC Alert? Have you signed up to receive emergency alerts via phone, text, email, or app? Well, what are you waiting for? Winter is coming, and that means there is potential for storms and flooding in our county. Don't get caught off guard or left in the cold. Get urgent storm evacuation and shelter information immediately sent directly to your device. Sign up today at sacramento-alert.org. Again, that's sacramento-alert.org. It's free, quick, and easy to do, and can literally be a lifesaver.
March Madness is in full swing, so why not capture some March magic with me, Rhino, on America's #1 daily fantasy site, Prize Picks. It's simple. No salary caps, no revolving lineups. All you do is pick 2 to 6 players and choose more or less on their stat lines and let them win the night for you. You can choose from Sweet 16 basketball action, opening day home runs. In fact, Prize Picks has over 100 different sports to pick from. Also, if your lineup gets off to a hot start, they're offering early payouts. Download the Prize Picks app today using the code Rhino50 to get $50 in free lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code Rhino, RYNO 50 to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup. Join my community. Find your community. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Haven't talked much about the Kings last night. It's that time of the season. But they played well. They were competitive. And they will now go to Atlanta, followed by Brooklyn and Toronto. But DeMar DeRozan, we have not talked about him enough. And it's a shame because DeMar DeRozan has really, just been unbelievable in showing up every game. I think he's only missed one game this year. He is always at a level, Ryan, we talk about consistency in professional sports, right?
Yeah.
He is a model of consistency. His consistency is as good as almost any Sacramento King in history. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. His consistency with what he does and the fact that everyone knows that he's going to do it and he's still able to score in the fashion that he does with not a lot of three-pointers to the magnitude of any other players in the league and still has the average. His mid-range game, I think, is as good as anybody in basketball and one of the best of his generation.
You just said the two major things. You know he's going to do it. You know what he wants to do, and he's still able to do it. And I think that's been the second thing about his game this year. He's always been able to pass, but he's not shooting as many threes as he did last season. He's making a point to get to his spots, and I think a lot of that has to do with a Max Reynaud, where you can get the ball to him as well if that double comes. But I don't think I'm exaggerating based off of the circumstances. This might be one of DeMar's best seasons.
I agree.
That he's ever played.
I agree. Because of the circumstances that you just laid out, the changing lineups, how bad the team is, where it would be easy to just go, screw it, this is terrible. He hasn't done that.
No. He's missed one game this season.
Yeah.
One game. And anytime the team has had to turn to him and say, we're running the offense through you, it's been some of the best basketball in spurts that we've seen from the Kings.
Let's hope that doesn't happen on Sunday in Brooklyn. You need to lose that game, plain and simple.
I know. It's too early for the injury report to be out, but that'll be an interesting one. We know Russ
It is
will
the second
be
of a
out.
back-to-back.
Oh, that's right. Tomorrow, Atlanta. Before that. Oh, you think anybody's at Magic City right now?
Yes. It's a little early.
Well, no, it's dinner time. They'd be going for the lemon pepper wings.
Say 25. You're right. I would I would say the over-under on that. I'm going to put the over-under, or excuse me, I'm going to put the more or less. Definitely more. Yes. I would say on a Friday night in Atlanta, night before the game, I'm going to say 100% yes.
And it kind of feels like one of those nights the rookies might be picking up the bill.
Are the rookies old enough to get into Magic City?
Yes, because they both stayed.
Max is. Yeah, they're right there because that's right.
Yeah, they
Yes.
both stayed.
Not all. How about we got some young pups on the? No, they're all good. They're all 21.
I think they're all over 21.
Yeah. Okay.
We got an interesting question
Yeah.
last night about Daquan Plowden, who had a career high scoring night, really gave the Kings the comeback at the end of the game. Somebody asked if he's Keon 2.0, Grant.
Yes,
what are your thoughts?
on our post-game show? That is correct.
What do you think?
Different, right?
Yeah.
Different. But in terms of could he be that player? I need to see more of him, but I've been impressed with what I've seen. I like the kid's moxie.
Yeah, differences between the two. I'm not going to go into the player differences, but Daquan's had a couple more stops around the NBA with training camps and G League, etc. Also, Keon, I think, okay, I will go into it. Daquan is more athletic than Keon, but Keon is more nimble than Daquan, and that's what makes them very much different players. But I will say this, Daquan's shooting has been very surprising to me in a good way.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. Updating you on the Sweet 16 games, Duke and St. John's in a dogfight, 44-42 with 2 minutes gone by in the second half. And Alabama and Michigan with just under 4 minutes left to go in the first half, 38-37 tied.
Good games.
Great games going on.
Yeah. Got a couple of good late ones as well. Michigan State, UConn. Tom Izzo. Is Tom Izzo wearing suits these days?
No.
Ah, come on, coach.
No. Luis Severino, perfect. No hits through 3 innings. A's, though, have no hits as they go to the 4th in Toronto, opening day for both the A's and the Blue Jays. Again, both teams looking for their first hit of the year. If you missed it earlier, the Giants were shut out again. This time, they only had 1 hit in the 3-0 loss to the Yankees.
Wonder if the ticket prices will drop for tomorrow.
No.
Being facetious. Yeah.
I know you are. But for those that don't think you're being facetious, I'm saying no.
Yeah, we got a text message. Grant, is DeRozan's contract up this year, or does he have one more year left?
He will. Well, let me answer that in two ways, okay? Yes, but I don't think he'll be here next year. What do you think?
I think if he was going to move, it would have been at the deadline. I do think DeMar will be here to start the season next year. Maybe he moves at the deadline because part of the year, it's not a fully guaranteed year. It's a little bit of a funky contract. But, yeah, I think he'll be here till at least the trade deadline.
Really?
Yeah, I do, because he's showing you what's the difference. Okay, this is a great conversation. You can see a distinct difference in Russ and DeMar's games. You don't think DeMar can get to those spots anytime he wants? He can. And there's I don't want to say a steadfastness, but to me, there's a better control of the understanding of the overall game for the four other guys on the court with him. Because when he needs to turn it on, he can, and he'll bypass an opportunity to get somebody else an opportunity if they have a better spot. Whereas I think a lot of times this season, understand the distinction, this season, when teams show Russ the green light, he can't help himself. He goes.
Okay. So I want to ask you, assuming that he's here next season and not knowing who the Kings will have in the draft, haven't we been hearing that now with DeAndre Hunter, with the development of Max, because we both agree that Sabonis will not be here. He's not here right now. Has anybody seen Sabonis yet?
No. Okay. And we've been talking about it. You've been talking about it for what, about a week and a half now?
Yes.
It's
more than that.
It's glaring at this point with
glaring.
everybody else.
Yeah, it's glaring. All right, so he's not going to be here. So we keep on hearing, well, the Kings are going to have Keegan Murray play at the
Can
3.
I stop you? I don't want to interrupt you. He's not going to be here. Don't blame Domantas Sabonis for not being here. I think Yeah,
I understand.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm with you on that. I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying it's peculiar.
Right.
All right. So DeMar DeRozan, if he's here, that means Keegan Murray's not going to be moved to the 3. Then how does DeAndre Hunter, who got an eye injury, is projected as a starter? And you keep on saying, well, you can play DeMar too. Well, if you still have Zach LaVine on the bench, or excuse me, if you still have Zach LaVine on the team, well, how's that going to work?
I'm not 100% convinced that DeAndre Hunter will be here come the start of the season.
Okay.
Because right now the Kings are projected to be in the second apron. If we want to pick at the biggest contracts, it's LaVine, Sabonis, and LaVine is going to be, he has the option to opt in. There's reports that he's going to opt in. So you can't come back with all 3 of those guys on the books, Grant. You just can't. And so Sabonis moves. So what are you going to get for Sabonis? My guess is a lot of draft capital. That's what the Kings are going to want. They're not going to want as much when it comes to players. Okay. You're going to get expiring deals.
Here's the other issue with everything you're talking about. As good as DeMar DeRozan has been, when he and Max Reynaud are on the floor, defensively, you're terrible. You are. And so who are you going to surround those guys with? So if you have Keegan on the floor, you have a stud defensively, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. We don't know who the Kings are going to draft, but I think we would assume, correct me if I'm wrong here, that with a team that's going to end up with the worst record in the Western Conference, that with let's just call it the way it is right now, a top 5 pick. Can we just say a top 5 pick for sake of conversation?
Sure.
That player probably is going to start next season. Especially if that player is a point guard. Do you see the Kings being this bad, drafting a top 5 player, maybe top 3, and having that player not start? Like if they get lucky and get the number 1 pick, and let's say it's DeBonsa, he's starting, correct?
Not necessarily. I
really?
mean, you should theoretically.
Yeah.
Yes, you should. It all depends on position.
What happens if you draft Boozer?
that's where I go back to, okay, you know what? If we're going to talk about Hunter being gone, I guess we need to talk about Keegan Murray too. I know
Yes.
we've kind of put him in a safe space. He's got his extension, but if you get Boozer,
Other than Max Reynaud, I don't think anybody's in a safe space. I think he's the guy that you wouldn't trade right now. I think you would trade anyone else. There's nobody on the Kings right now that I would say, no, I'm not going to trade. I would trade Keegan Murray. I would trade Nick Clifford. I would absolutely. You wouldn't?
I'm thinking, yeah, I probably would. I would not want to lose Malik Monk personally. And Jerry,
yeah, but he was almost moved last year, if you believe everyone.
But there was an abrupt U-turn, right? And Jerry made a great point on a post-game show earlier this week about Malik's not an old guy. He's still got another great contract in front of him and another good contract after that. He's coming into his prime, and I just think he's such a universal piece for any type of big that if you want to play with Reynaud, you need a Monk. If you want to play with a Cardwell, Cardwell's a bad example, but you get my point.
Yeah. A's are on the board. They score a run in the top of the fourth, and now Toronto is batting in the bottom of the fourth, still looking for their first hit. So 1-0 in favor of the A's.
Need a home run from Vlad Jr.
I'm rooting for the A's. I don't want a home run from Vlad Jr. You have him on your prize picks?
I took a little exotic. I didn't want to put that risk on everybody else. But yeah, I had Aaron Judge more than, I believe it was 1.5 bases. So that hit. I have Acuna more than half a hit. And I've got home runs for Vlad and Shohei. So
okay.
We're getting a little baseball fun tonight.
Okay. Well, I've got one segment left, so keep that in mind. All right. We've got one segment to go, and I will open up the phone lines if you want to talk about all of the topics that we've got going on. 916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. Do I have a read I've got to do here, buddy, according to the list you sent me?
Last segment.
To get the break.
Last segment.
Okay. Just want to make sure. You're my wingman, but you really are the captain in the control room there of making sure that I do things at the right time. Even though you haven't watched the movies that I need you to watch and you weren't aware of the NBA draft lottery protocol, that's okay. You are in charge of steering this ship on this show, and I'm giving you an A+ for that. Final segment, straight ahead on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Summer is coming. Backyard parties, barbecues, good times with great people. Take your summer to the next level with an outdoor kitchen or fire pit from Custom Fireside. Custom Fireside has the largest inventory of outdoor kitchen options, fire pits, and fireplaces in the Sacramento area. If you missed us at Capitol Beer Fest, no problem. Now through the end of March, visit one of our 2 locations. Mention Beer Fest, and you'll still get Beer Fest savings. Custom Fireside, employee owned and operated in Sacramento and Elk Grove.
Hey, golfers, we got something special to tell you. Par 18 Golf Training Center has arrived. Par 18 Golf is a cutting-edge golf performance and training center designed to up your game to an entirely new level. Par 18 Golf trains with TrackMan performance systems. TrackMan practice bays utilize Doppler radar and high-speed cameras that capture every motion and aspect of your swing, from your posture and stance to the flight angle and trajectory of the ball and its distance and speed. TrackMan practice bays are the same system that PGA and LPGA professionals use to perfect their game. Whether you're sharpening your short game, dialing in driver distance, or preparing for tournament play, Par 18 Golf is where performance meets precision. You'll train smarter, perform better, and compete with an entirely new level of confidence. Visit par18golf.com today and experience the future of golf performance. Open anytime by reservation. Visit par18golf.com to make your reservation.
You've been saying you're going to pay better attention to your home's honeydews. Check one off your list right now by calling Gabrud Services to schedule a 12-point inspection of your home's electrical system. The safe rule of thumb is every 5 years for an inspection. If it's been 5 years or more, call Gabrud's now. A qualified technician will provide a thorough inspection of the electrical system to ensure it's safe or alert you to potential problems. At Gabrud's, electrical work is all we do. We are the area's recognized experts for anything electrical, and our number one priority is ensuring your home and family are safe. You've been saying you'll pay better attention to your home. Stop saying it. Make the call to Gabrud's. Talk with a real person and schedule your 12-point inspection today. Gabrud's, locally owned for more than 30 years. G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Call the good dudes at Gabrud's, G-U-B-R-U-D-S, Gabrud's.com.
It's about time delivery worked on your schedule. Same day, next day, or scheduled in advance. However you plan it, the Home Depot delivers the whole job. From drywall to doors, plumbing to paint, we'll get it there when you need it. Because on the job site, timing is everything. You order, we deliver. It's that easy. The Home Depot Pro. It's about time.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control.
Yikes!
So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Final segment of the week here on Fox Sports Sacramento. The A's, they are starting their season. They're through 4. Severino giving up only 1 hit, and the A's are clinging to a 1-0 lead. Sweet 16 action. St. John's, 13:46 left in the second half. They lead Duke 55-47 at the break. Alabama and Michigan, very tight game, 49-47 Bama over the top seed Michigan. A little bit later, Michigan, UConn, Tennessee, Iowa State. And then we'll find out tomorrow the first 2 teams going to the Final Four, and on Sunday, the other 2 teams. What a fabulous weekend this is. I know you think that last Thursday and last Friday, the 2 best Thursday and Fridays respectively in sport.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this weekend is pretty good too. That Sweet 16 and you get down to the 8 teams, that's good stuff too.
Yeah, it is. You see some really good basketball. I just like the wall-to-wall basketball. It's just something about it. It's nostalgic. You're getting into your bracket for the first time. But
you were. I'm tied for second, and you're what in the bracket?
I am third, and you are tied for second. You're one of 3 people that has Arizona winning the tournament.
Boy, they look good, huh? They destroyed Arkansas. They destroyed them.
If they're gonna shoot the ball that way,
oh wow,
you're not beating them. And they were able. I was actually really surprised that the points in the paint were tied at halftime because Arizona was just killing them there. I got to ask you this, and I know Pat will probably chime in on this as well. Is St. John's really that big of a deal of a program in New York? Because it's like this year they got
absolutely
massive coverage.
St. John's is a big deal. They've had great players, Chris Mullen in the past, players, Mark Jackson, right? I can go on and on. St. John's is a big deal in New York, yes. And they've always rocked Madison Square Garden,
Yeah.
when they play their games in there. Yes, it is a big deal. Absolutely.
So this
Yes,
is
it is.
Yeah, this is
It's got a great basketball tradition because the great Louis Cornacecca was the coach at St. John's for years and years and years. And, at one time they had a seatbelt for him on the bench that I believe the assistant coach had the lock to, so he couldn't get up and
You're
get technical
kidding.
fouls. Nah, look it up. Louis Cornacecca and his seatbelt on the bench.
So what's the main campus? Jamaica, Queens, or Manhattan, or Oakdale? It's Queens.
I've never been to the St. John's campus. It's not Manhattan.
It's Jamaica, Queens.
Right. I was just going to say, I believe it's Jamaica. Yeah. Yep. Right, not too far from Kew Gardens, not that far from Forest Hills. And when you get your passport and you fly to New York, and then you spend a couple days in New York before you go to Europe, you take the air train from JFK right into Jamaica Station. Takes about 10 minutes. And then from Jamaica, you're, depending on whether you're on the express or you got to stop at Forest Hills and Woodside, 15 to 18 minutes for you to get into Midtown Manhattan at Penn Station, right underneath Madison Square Garden.
Oof. We stayed really close to Grand Central Station.
Yep.
That was a fun trip. That was a really fun trip.
My dad worked directly across from Grand Central Station. As a matter of fact, the last time I was there, I had two friends. Well, one was Brian Knight. I went to New York when he was doing a Yankees game, and I had my other buddy there, and we walked out of the hotel they were staying at, which is the Grand Hyatt, which is right connected to.
That's where we stayed.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, directly across the street is the building that my dad's father began, is the insurance brokerage business. And it's called the Bowery Savings Bank building. The Bowery Savings Bank obviously is not in existence anymore, but there was a bank, and I actually walked in to the doors on 42nd Street into that building, and there was a security guard there behind a desk, and he said, "Can I help you?" Because the elevators were behind him. And I said, "No, I said my father and my grandfather had a business in this building, and I'm just reminiscing a little bit." He goes, "Oh, wow." He goes, "When?" And we started talking for a couple of minutes. He was an older guy. He goes, "I wasn't here back then." I go, "Yeah, I didn't think you'd be there back then." But yeah, that was cool. That building is still there.
That is
Yep.
spectacular.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. All right, let's get to some phone calls, and we say hello to Big Al. Big Al, what's going on?
Mr. Napier, sir, when you started talking, educating the young man there, good on
Yes.
you. I remember that team, with Mullen and such, and they had a great All-American. Was it a first name Walter Berry? He was a great
Walter Berry.
All-American.
Yep.
Forward. He
Yep.
sadly, his game couldn't translate to pros. He really had limited range, about 15 feet, but he was very smooth.
Yep.
And then as you said great program. My dad talked to me about St. John's basketball in the 1940s and 50s.
Wow.
They were a thing. They were a thing back then, Grant. That was like the five. Philadelphia talks about the 5 great colleges in the Philly area. New York had the same thing too. Yeah. So.
Well, I used to love watching
It's
St.
really-
My dad. We used to go to a lot of the St. John's games at Madison Square Garden, and the Big East games when they would play Syracuse, that place would be off the hook, or Villanova or Seton Hall. We would be at the ECAC Holiday Festival with a lot of the Big East teams, or once in a while we got into the tournament. I'm going to tell you, it was fabulous basketball. Really great college basketball back then. Great college basketball.
Absolutely, Mr. Grant. So you're absolutely right. And don't forget, some of their win. I think they lost out to that great Ewing Georgetown team.
Yes, that's correct.
That was special. Anyway, that's all. I just heard you talking, so I just
Thank you.
Just had
Hey,
to
have a
chime
great
in on
weekend.
that.
All right. Thank you.
You too, Grant. Bye.
Take care. That's now a tight game. It is 57-54. The score of that game now, with just under 12 minutes left. St. John's clinging to a 3-point lead. Hey, this weekend, right? You're probably going to be in front of your TV a lot, unless you are thinking, "Gee, all right, we're going to be on the move. I just got a promotion. I just got transferred. I've got to sell my home. Well, who's going to do that for you? I've got a guy that's perfect. Spencer Grimmenstein, Village Financial Group, broker, owner, opened up the family-owned business in 2000. Keep in mind that he is very creative in a lot of areas. He's a financing specialist. If you are buying a home, he has access to private money. If you want to do a home equity line of credit, he'll get you rolling right through that. It's kind of like a white glove boutique shop, one-stop shop from the start line to the finish line. That's what Spence will do for you. Call him or text him at 916-805-4868. That's 916-805-4868. You can also go on their website at vfgloans.com. That's vfgloans.com. You will find thousands of listings available for a purchase. It makes sense to call Spence at 916-805-4868. Village Financial Group, looking out for your best interest.
So would a St. John's championship be, I don't want to say right up there, but getting there for New York City in basketball?
Huge, yes. It wouldn't compare to the Knicks winning a championship, but yeah, it would be big. Absolutely. Big. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a good game going on. 4-point game, 60-56, St. John's clinging as they approach the halfway point. Let me update you on that A's game. It is 1-0, fifth inning. The Blue Jays half of the inning with one out. And right now, Severino has only given up one hit. So good job by Luis Severino. Giants get shut out again. 3-0 to the Yankees, and they only had one hit. That's it. One hit for the San Francisco Giants as they lose by the score of 3-0. Been a good week. Covered a lot of topics. Boy, we have a lot going on. The Kings are on an extended road trip. They will be in Atlanta, then Brooklyn, then, of course, Toronto to take on the Raptors. Next week, we will obviously talk a lot of Final Four with the NFL draft right around the corner. We're going to be really focusing in on that. What about the Niners? You know, everyone thinks the Raiders are going to take Fernando Mendoza. What about the rest of their picks? What about the 49ers and the direction that they'll go? The draft this year really starts at number 2 in the NFL because we pretty much all assume that Mendoza is going to be number 1. Then things get a little interesting. Who's going to go off the board at 2, 3, 4? Great running back out of Notre Dame. Is he going to slide in the draft? He's dynamic. Is he going to be a guy that we call his name at 2, 3, or 4? What about the Jets, who have been so bad for so long? Which direction are they going to go? What about John Harbaugh, his first year at the New York Giants at number 5? Will they trade down, maybe get a couple of extra picks? So we're going to talk a lot of NFL draft. We're going to zero in on that starting next week. Hard to believe it's going to be April next week, isn't it? Wow.
Comes quick.
Wow.
Comes quick. Jeremiah Love is a beast out of Notre Dame.
Yes, Mr. Notre Dame Fighting Irish man, Rhino. Okay, so we talk about the running back position. The term they like to use is devalued in the NFL.
Yeah.
You think he clearly is a top 5 pick, correct? You think he'll go in the top 5?
Who are the top 5 teams picking? It's the Raiders.
The Titans, the Jets, the Giants, and who else is in there? Forgive me off the top of my head, but go ahead.
Yeah, I think he'll go in the top 5. Watch out for the Titans. They really need a good running back like that.
Yeah, they go quarterback last year, new coaching staff. They have made. I'd like some of the moves they've made in free agency.
You like the uniforms?
Tennessee's uniform?
Yeah, they did the whole change.
Yeah, you know, it was funny. I was watching my son on his sports show, and they only showed the jersey, and I didn't see the whole thing. I gotta look at it again. What about you? Did you like it?
It was hard to follow because they were like rolling it out in phases, but it didn't look terrible.
Yeah. I got to make sure that my son did not keep that jersey and that he gave it to his co-host because I don't want a break of tradition where I would have to disown him as my son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, knowing that he's a Napier, I'm sure he cut it up in pieces and used it as a handkerchief.
Yes. Or just gave it to his, cohorts. He works with two other individuals from Nashville and give it to them. That would be the right thing to do.
So wait,
the right thing
it's
to do.
okay to give out. Well, I guess the Titans are the rival.
Yes.
All right. Got it.
He works in Nashville. He's got to talk about the Titans. Listen, I work in Sacramento. I got to talk about the Kings. I talk about the 49ers. I talk about I understand. That's his job. But that doesn't mean he takes it home with him. The jersey stays there. It doesn't go home. No. Not unless it's the New York football Giants. Hey, have a great week, everybody. Appreciate your support. For Rhino and Sacktown, Grant Napear, thanks so much for joining us each every afternoon right here on the Grant Napear Show on Fox Sports Sacramento. Bye-bye now.
Welcome to Par 18 Golf, Northern California's premier TrackMan Golf Performance Center. If you love the game of golf, you're going to love Par 18 Golf. Par 18 Golf is where serious golfers go to elevate their game to an entirely new level. Par 18 Golf features Ultratech TrackMan practice bays. These are the very same golf simulator systems that PGA players use to